Come the first race day of TT2000, and the scene was set for a classic duel between Joey, the King of the Mountain, and young gun David Jeffries.
We're, into the last 30 seconds or so before the start of this first race of a brand new century. And the Minister of Sport, Kate Hoey MP, is about to drop the flag for the start of the 6-lap Duke TT Formula 1 race. Number 1, Ian Locker, 5th last year, and a member of the winning club team, gets the Yamaha 1000. The race underway. Comes from Roos, a popular rider here, rode in the Manx Grand Prix, competes in the Southern 100, and loves racing around the TT course, and a very, very pleasant gentleman he is indeed. Always ready to stop and have a word. He won't be stopping anywhere for a word now, though, for the next hour or so. Well, just under 2 hours. So the tension is mounting. You can feel it up here. The flag drops and we're underway. The first race of year 2000, and Ian Locker on the Yamaha 1000 gets away. Next will be number 2, Nigel Davies from Llanelli, 7th last year and a silver replica winner. He's got the Flitwick Yamaha. And now Joey Dunlop, the man who's a legend in his own lifetime with the VTR SP1, runner-up last year. You may remember he led for the first 2 laps. Let's hear Joey go. And following him, also on an SP1, is number 4, John McGuinness. Number 5, Ian Duffus, 3rd last year. On the Fireblade he's opted for. Number 6, Gary Dines, 8th last year. He's opted for the 500 Yamaha YZ. Number 7, Michael Rutter with the V&M Yamaha R1. Gets the signal. He's away safely. So the first 7 on their way. Number 8 will be next. That's Blair Deggerholm from New Zealand, riding the Wilson & Collins Kawasaki. Last year's winner, David Jeffries, the fastest lap, the Manufacturers Team Award, silver replica. There goes Jeffers. Front wheel pouring the airs. He puts the power down under the Suzuki banner and disappears round that S-bend at the top of Bray Hill. Number 10 is Jason Griffiths. I say S-bend because literally the speed they are going, it is literally an S-bend. They crank to the right and then to the left, and that's the sound of the Ducati of number 11, James Courtney. And that's the biggest wheelie so far. He's almost under the bridge before the wheel comes down. Number 12, the Glaswegian, Jim Moody with the Fireblade. He's away safely. Number 13, lucky for some, unusual to see this, but Ewell Duncan doesn't mind. Ewell Duncan, he gets away safely. Next will be number 14. That is Sean Harris. Sean Harris from New Zealand, and I think it's time to take a quick break.
Boing. It's time for bed, said Zebedee. Protection beyond convention. FM helmets.
One day, you might meet Carl Fogarty. One day, you'll find the bike of your dreams. One day, you might find that elusive accessory. One day, you may find a show that's actually exciting. The new International Scooter and Motorcycle Show, the NEC Birmingham, from the 10th to the 19th November. The ultimate day out.
When you're at the greatest road racing festival in the world, you need the greatest selection of clothing to mark the event. Make sure you visit the shopping area behind the grandstand. It's open all day, every day, and you'll find the official TT clothing from fleeces to polos, jackets to caps. Plus, there's refreshments available all day. So stop at the shopping centre behind the grandstand.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula 1 TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Since we had that break, number 15, Mark Flynn, 16, Adrian Archibald, 17, Gordon Blackley, 18, Gary Carswell, 19, Brian Gardner, 20, Chris Heath, 21, Simon Smith, 22, Paul Hunt. Nice to see him back again after a spill at the Northwest last year. He's away safely. And this is number 23, Johnny Barton, 26 last year, lives now in Crosby in the Isle of Man. Number 24, Steve Day, Yamaha R1. He was a 750 class winner in last year's production TT. Finished 24th in this race last year and got a bronze replica. A couple of non-starters now. Number 25, Richard, the Milky Bar Kid Quayle from Douglas and the Isle of Man, double Manx Grand Prix winner last year. His best chance obviously will come in the 250 and 600 races. Number 26, John Hepburn, gets away safely. A change of number there. If you missed it before, he's not 84, he's riding number 26. That's John Hepburn. 27, there's Steve Linsdell. Steve Linsdell with the Flitwick Yamaha. We're told it's Flitwick, not Flitwick. 28, Jim Hudson will be getting the signal next, but time to go to Motorcycle News. Glenn Helen.
Yes, indeed, Peter. We look towards the first left-hander before the short right to see, will it be Ian Locker due any moment now? The crowd begin to rise. There must be a machine coming very soon. One flashes round that first left-hander into the right. It is number 1. It's Locker through. Round the long, sweeping left-hander and away from us. So Ian Locker, number 1, first away and leads on the road. Will he have pulled out any time over Davis? It looks as though he may have done, because Davis is not with us, and that must be more than 10 seconds. But the crowd cheer. There's Davis, but Dunlop right behind him. And Dunlop's caught up that 10 seconds on that first 9.5 mile run. He's got Davis in his sights. Very, very quick there. Could I just remind spectators here not to use flash cameras? It's very dangerous indeed. We've had a word from the marshals, but Dunlop absolutely flying. He's caught up a lump of time there. There's number 4, John McGuinness. As the flash cameras go off again. Very, very stupid indeed. There's certainly a way to our right here. Would you please cover up the flashes? But Dunlop absolutely flying. So maybe those slick tyres have done the job. Number 5, Ian Duffus, third place for him last year on the Fireblade. So just to recap, it was Locker, but Joey Dunlop was very much behind Nigel Davis, and I suspect by now will be ahead of him and will be second on the road. 7 now is through Michael Rutter, followed by 6, so he's got ahead of Gary Dines. Gary Dines down a little bit on power on that 500. That's not surprising, but Michael Rutter has got safely past him, so we look for, I suppose, Jeffries now, and we'll shuffle the times as soon as we can. But Joey Dunlop absolutely flying. This is going to be one race, that's for sure. And here is number 9, David Jeffries, ahead of number 8 there, Blair Degerholm. Blair, who was 12th last year from New Zealand on that Wilson and Collins Kawasaki, but already in that 9.5 mile run, David Jeffries has pulled out over 10 seconds on Blair Degerholm and has overtaken him on the road. He's behind Michael Rutter and Gary Dines, but Joey Dunlop was the one who was flying. We'll give you the times as soon as we can. Number 10, local man Jason Griffiths from Ramsey, 6th place for him last year, and he's safely through. But I can tell you it's Dunlop that leads. It's Dunlop that leads by 2 seconds from David Jeffries. Number 12 now, Jim Moody on the Fireblade. So fantastic news here at Glen Helen. After just 9.5 miles, Joey Dunlop by 2 seconds from number 9, David Jeffries. In third place, number 7, Michael Rutter. Number 11 now is James Courtney. Almost sedate compared to those that have gone before, but he's going well, having a look to see where the damp patches may be as number 13, Ewell Duncan, goes through. And quite obviously, he's caught up time there on James Courtney. James, who was 4th last year in this event. 14 now is Sean Harris. Another of the New Zealanders on the PJ O'Kane Yamaha, the R1, but Joey Dunlop absolutely tremendous through here. He's ahead on corrected time of David Jeffries by 2 seconds. 1 second further back on that is number 7, Michael Rutter. A tremendous first 9.5 for him as well in third place. Number 15 now is Mark Flynn. So just 3 seconds separate the first 3. Number 16 is next Adrian Archibald. Adrian, who was a retirement in the pits last year. Adrian on that Dow Britain Honda 900. 17 next is Gordon Blackley, 14th for him last year on the Kawasaki. We've got joint men in 4th place, and they are numbers 1, Ian Locker, number 4, John McGuinness, and number 12, Jim Moody. We can't separate them in 4th place, just behind number 7, Michael Rutter. We then move down to 7th place, and that's number 2, Nigel Davis. 18 and 19 in close proximity there. Gary Carswell, the local competitor, but Brian Gardner had caught up time on him. They were 15th and 11th last year, respectively, but it's Joey Dunlop who leads by 2 seconds from number 9, David Jeffries. Jeffries, in turn, 1 second ahead of Michael Rutter. Then in joint 4th place, number 1, Ian Locker, 4, John McGuinness, and number 12, Jim Moody. They, in turn, have a 3-second advantage then over 7th place man, number 2, Nigel Davis. So Nigel Davis, although second, number 20, just take that one through. There's Chris Heath, 22 and 21. Paul Hunt, Big H is there with Simon Smith, so they've safely negotiated that furnace 9.5 miles. But Joey Dunlop flying through here, 2 seconds ahead of number 9, David Jeffries. David on the V&M Yamaha, so it's Honda ahead of the Yamaha by 2 seconds. 1 second further back is number 7, Michael Rutter. Then in joint 4th place, a couple of seconds back on that, number 1, Ian Locker with number 4, John McGuinness, and number 12, Jim Moody. They are 3 seconds ahead of number 2, Nigel Davis, who's in 7th. That's 24 going through now is Steve Day. 3 3 seconds actually separate number 7 Michael Rutter from that battle for 4th place, 1, 4 and 12. 23, John Barton, another of the locals on the Ducati. You could probably hear that. 26 now is John Hepburn. That's the change of number. John, who was 19th last year, moved up from number 84, riding at number 26 on the R1 Yamaha. Another of the New Zealanders. The sun comes out here now. Roads drying all the time and conditions pretty well perfect for racing. Hardly any wind. 28 and 27 close together. Jim Hodson, Steve Linsdell. Steve, who was 20th last year, another one on the Flitwick Yamaha. I was taken to task over that. I'm told it is Flitwick and not Flitwick, but the news at Glen Helen lap 1 is it's a lead for Joey Dunlop by 2 seconds from 9 David Jeffries. He in turn 1 second ahead of Michael Rutter, 3 seconds further back number 1 Ian Locker, 4 John McGuinness, 12 Jim Moody, then 2, 5, 6 and 10. With that, back to the Motorcycle News grandstand.
I'm working myself up into an absolute frenzy, said Ermintrude. FM helmets, protection beyond convention.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Profis fahren Arai. Arai-Helme, weltweit die Nummer 1. Holt euch eure Arai-Helme in Deutschland in allen Goto-Helm-Studios. Übrigens, Goto-Helm-Studio und die Freizeitidee bieten super Reisetouren für euren nächsten Inseltrip an. Arai, there's a difference.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
We've noticed one additional non-starter, number 47, as we now get number 68 away. And number 68, that's Kevin Aggo Murphy on a Honda VFR 750R. 69 now gets a signal, but we don't want to miss the leaders in Ramsey, so let's go straight away now to Motorcycle News, Ramsey Hairpin.
Yes, right in the heart of Motorcycle News country. The spectators down there at Stella Maris begin to stir. Now, they may just have heard the background noise as the riders thunder down from Schoolhouse. No, the programmes are waving. It could be Joey leading on the road. Is this the programmes waving to indicate Joey? No, a little bit premature. Perhaps that was just a little wave for our mentions of them down there. Yes, I think it is. So let's not get too excited. But that's the big question. Will Joey be leading on the road with the VTR SPW? We'll know very shortly. The noise in the background. And it is Joey. No, it's Locker. It's Locker. Locker leads for Hector Neal. Here comes Ian Locker. Ian Locker, number 1, gingerly through. Now here's the man. Number 3. Here's your man, William Joseph. Oh, and he's got his race face on. There's no two ways about that. Number 2, Cap Davis. He's passed Cap Davis on the road. Those 13 miles, is it? 8 miles, 15 miles down there from Glen Helen up toward us here at Ramsey. Now here's John McGuinness on the very much more standard SD1, the machine that is being used in the British Superbike Championship Series. Very, very different to that machine that is being ridden by William Joseph Dunlop. Believe you me, Joey Dunlop's World Superbike engine will probably rev 1,000 revs higher than the machine that is being ridden by John McGuinness. As we await 30 seconds, we've got 20 seconds or more to go before DJ gets interviewed. This is number 5. This is Ian Duffers. Now here's DJ. This is Michael Rutter. No, Michael Rutter on the first of the V&M machines. That's a nice gentle approach from Michael Rutter. 43, 45, 15 seconds. Anything less than 1 minute and DJ will be leading. Anything more than 1 minute and it should be William Joseph that leads this one. Number 6, this is the 4-cylinder ex-Grand Prix YZF 2-stroke ex-Frederick Protart machine that ran in the Grand Prix. Here's Jeffries and he's on the board, but he's not leading at the moment. He's losing ground to William Joseph. The gap goes up slightly more. It's 6.5 seconds. It looks as if Joey Dunlop has increased that advantage to 6.5 seconds from what was 2 seconds down there at Glen Helen. This is number 8, Blair Degerholm, coming in toward us on the ex-Simon Beck 750 Kawasaki. So Joey Dunlop on the 15 miles run from Glen Helen right the way down toward us here at Ramsey has increased by some 4.5 seconds. Number 10, this is Jason Griffiths. Jason, who went so well in practice on the Ray Cowles R1 Yamaha. We got the R71s, we got the R171s. We'll talk about those later, but this is Jim Moody, number 12. Jim Moody, 7 times a TT winner, got the Dunlop boots on that Honda Fireblade, and a very relaxed Jim Moody it was this morning when I spoke to him. Right, Who have we got then? It's that 2 seconds back in third place, number 20. That is number 20. No, that's wrong. He's just shuffling his positions there. That would be Chris Heath. So what have we got? We've got Dunlop, 5.5 seconds ahead. 3 from 9. That's 6 seconds. He's rounded it up to 6 seconds. I say 5.5. Doesn't really matter. Joey Dunlop is the leader and increasing. Jeffrey's just 1 second ahead of, and I'll wait for Patrick O'Hanlon, my timekeeper extra, Michael Rutter. Michael Rutter in third place, just 1 second down on David Jeffries. This is number 13, Ewan Duncan. Number 11, that's the Ducati of James Courtney. And number 14, the Flying Kiwi. That is Sean Harris. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And Sean Harris almost catapulted himself out of the saddle. A rather lazy run through the hairpin, got on the gas, the back wheel bit, and almost catapulted him out of the saddle. Adrian Archibald, number 16, on the Chris Dowd Randlestone Builders Honda Britain Firebrade, the current leader of the Irish Championships. In fourth place then, some 7 seconds down on Michael Rutter, it is Cap Davis. Now that is a genuine R71. That is a R7 chassis with a 1000 engine on board. 15 and 17. 15, Mark Flynn. Nice to see Mark Flynn back at the circuit. He had that horrendous smash here a couple of years ago. He's ahead of Bagpuss Gordon Blackley. And Gordon Blackley, some 3 weeks ago at the British Superbike round at Alton Park, just about totaled his 750 Kawasaki when the pace car came out. Duffus is there in 5th position. So we've got Dunlop leading by 6 seconds from Jeffries, who is 1 second up on Michael Rutter, as numbers 19 and 18 go through. 19, Brian Gardner, and 18, Gary Carswell, local rider Gary Carswell from Moorcold here on the Isle of Man. 3, Dunlop, 6 seconds up on number 9, Jeffries, who is just 1 second up on number 7, Michael Rutter. Rutter in turn, 7 seconds up on the very likeable Welshman, Cap Davis, who would probably prefer to be Ian Woosnam, great golfing fanatic Cap Davis. He enjoys a 3-second lead over number 5, Ian Duffus, who is in 5th position. And in 6th place, it is McGuinness, 2 seconds down. McGuinness, there's number 21, that's Ronnie Smith. Ronnie Smith on the Honda Fireblade. It's already got past Chris Heath on the road on the Chesterfield Motorcycles machine that I suspect is probably his production machine that he's running there. So Joey Dunlop, well, he gave this impression, Jeff Kennel says, do you think he was sandbagging? And we got that impression on the Thursday afternoon at the wonderfully hospitable Honda garage where we saw Joey and had a quick chat with him, and he smiled when we said, were you sandbagging? There's Big H, Paul Hunt, another rider coming back off injury, crashed at the Northwest 200 last year, and in fact due to go for surgery in the next few months. Number 24, Steve Day, spelled with an E, not with an A, on the FC Moore Decorators R1. I don't think we can tell you any more than that. We've got the top 6 down there, and I think Patrick's gone into siesta mode. Any more coming, Patrick, or are you, as a true local government officer, having your 4th break of the, oh no, it's the afternoon, you're probably on tea break number 6 at the moment, aren't you? So what about that? William Joseph. All the stops are pulled out. Bob McMillan of Honda Britain after the Northwest 200 said, look, we've got to do something rather special. As Jimmy Hodson, number 28, comes through the hairpin, we've got to do something rather special. Let's get a World Superbike engine across here and as much of the World Superbike chassis as we possibly can. A nice little Steve there, nod of the head from Steve Linsdale on his R71. And number 23, that is John Bye. Yes, well, nice to see you, John. Very pleasant. He's got the production bike out, gives it a little toot on the hooter. And I think that's just about it. So as we have number 29, Adrian McFarland, is it going through? We can go some 13 miles ahead over the mountain to the Motorcycle News Grandstand and Peter Neal.
That Ermintrude's a right cow, said Florence in a flounce. FM helmets, protection beyond convention.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
There are great job opportunities in the Isle of Man in accounts, banking, secretarial, IT and customer services at Ability Plus Employment Agency. Call into their offices on Prospect Hill, Douglas, or telephone 662165 for information on employment prospects in the Isle of Man with Ability Plus.
The lights are on. I can hear a machine. I can't see it yet, but now I can. And it's Joey. Joey Dunlop crosses the line now. He's ahead of Ian Locker. Joey leads on the road, and he looks determined. He passed him between Governor's Bridge and the crossing the line here, and 159.8 miles an hour was the speed he crossed the line. That's number 4, McGuinness, followed by number 2, Cap Davies. We've got the watch started on Joey to see the time difference between him and number 9, and that is David Jeffries, of course. At exactly 1 minute was the time difference at the start of this race. But Joey leading on the roads and really giving it the full welly, no doubt about that. 169.6 is the fastest we've seen so far now. And it's now 40 seconds. There's Michael Rutter, number 7. He's safely through, but we're looking now for the time difference between numbers 3 and number 9. That's number 5. Ian Duffus, he goes through safely. It's 50 seconds now since Joey crossed the line. 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Joey is still leading. There's no doubt about that. But what will the time difference be? We're looking for number 9. Is this him? It is David Jeffries there now. He crossed the line. I stopped my watch, and I stopped it on an unbelievable 10 seconds. 10 seconds unofficially. We have that Joey Dunlop leads David Jeffries at the end of the first lap. And Joey's opening lap as number 6 goes through, and number 6, that's Gary Dines on the 500, and there's number 8, Blair Deggerholm. Joey's opening lap was 18 minutes 39.6, 121.31 miles an hour. Number 1, Ian Locker, had a lap in 18 minutes, 59.7, 119.17. But Joey leads the race on our unofficial times by some 10 seconds from David Jeffries. That's Jason Griffiths and Jim Moody. Jim Moody, the Glaswegian, pouncing on the Ramsey man as they disappear for that plunge down Bray Hill. It's a repeat of last year, because last year in the Formula One race, Joey Dunlop led David Jeffries at the end of the first lap and at the end of the second lap. It was a 4-lap race, of course, last year, which was reduced to 4 because of the spill involving Paul Orrit at the bottom of Bray Hill on the first lap. And times coming. In fact, we have that number 7, Michael Rutter, and number 4, John McGuinness, are ahead of David Jeffries at the moment. So, the battle here now, let's number 3, Joey Dunlop, leads number 7, Michael Rutter, by 0.3 of a second only. Number 3 and number 7 is the battle now. In third place, that's number 14, Sean Harris. Let's get this leaderboard out. Number 3, Joey Dunlop, leads by 0.3 of a second only from number 7, and that is Michael Rutter. Michael Rutter, in turn, 4.6 seconds ahead of number 4, and that is John McGuinness. John McGuinness is 5.2 seconds ahead of number 9, David Jeffries. David Jeffries, in turn, is 10 seconds ahead of number 1, and that is Ian Locker. In 6th place, we have number 2, Cap Davies, 5 seconds down on Locker, and in 7th place, number 5, Ian Duffus, just 0.8 of a second down on number 2. So, has David Jeffries got a problem, or did Joey just really battle? Well, it wasn't just Joey, the others all came past him as well. We'll work that out and think about it after this break.
Boing, boing. I'll give him like boing, man, said Dylan. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Number 12, Jim Moody, has come up into 5th place, and he's just 6 seconds down on number 9, Jeffrey. So it's 3, 7, 4, 9, 12 and 1. Jeff.
Mark Flynn, though, is a retirement. What's up?
I've got a bit of a nerve problem in my shoulder, and it's making my hand go numb, and I can't hold on, Jeff. It's not
okay.
I can't hold on.
That's a result from the crash last year, 2 years ago, is it?
Yeah, there's lots more injuries, but this one's been a real problem.
Okay, what's the patches like on the mountain? Are they all right?
It's a bit dodgy.
Okay, a bit dodgy. He says we go to Morris at Glen Helen.
Yes, indeed, and Dunlop's just gone through here, absolutely flying, leading obviously on the road. He's ahead of Ian Locker on the road, and that, of course, is evident, but the time gap we're looking for is the 40 seconds on the starting interval, 4-2. So there's number Guinness, of course, who is holding on to that correct in third place, followed by number 2, Nigel Cap-Davis. We await the arrival of Michael Rutter, who was obviously flying as well, and, well, we can begin the speculation, really. What is it all about? Is it that Jeffries perhaps is not quite on the pace we may well have expected from the practice leaderboard, which has allowed this to be a very tight race indeed? So, number 7, here he is now. That's Michael Rutter. Round the long left-hander and safely away. And Michael Rutter really was flying there on that V&M. And, well, 0.3 of a second we had it posted back at the grandstand. So he must have pulled some time back down the mountain. Number 5 is next, is Ian Duffus. Ian, who was third last year on the Fireblade. And he was, I think, around about 8th or 9th position at the grandstand. Another one we've got to look for, obviously, is number 12, Jim Moody. Back to Jeff for a moment.
Yeah, Paul Hunt's in and the steering damper's gone, I think. Has it snapped?
Yeah, it was going okay. It was wobbling a bit, but I caught up 3 ahead of us, and it was going fine. And I'm getting a lot of tanks up and thought, look down, it's not worth it.
OK, back to Morris at Glen Helen.
Yes, thanks, Jeff. Disappointment there for Paul Hunt. We had him moving up into about 9th place here at Glen Helen on lap 1, so as he obviously indicated, he was going well, but problems and obviously wise to retire if he can't hold that with the damper. Number 6 there is Gary Dines. Well, it was expected that he would be dropping back on pace. Number 8 is Blair Degerholm. Blair, who was 12th last year on the Wilson & Collins Kawasaki. Just back to the grandstand for a moment.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Come rain or shine, the venue on the Central Prom in Douglas guarantees the hottest TT action. Happy hours, 2 live bands every night, racing action with TT and British Superbike stars, plus the fair biker babes, bringing some very warm fronts and other bits your way. So for the ultimate storming TT party experience, get into the venue tonight.
Well, OK, let's get this leaderboard in position and let's be able to inform you what a great race this is. But it is Dunlop who leads by 2 seconds now from Michael Rutter, so that's slightly increased from what it was 9.5 miles ago. There's then a 6-second advantage that number 7, Michael Rutter, has over number 4, John McGuinness, who maintains that 3rd place, 2 seconds ahead of number 9, David Jeffries. So Jeffries at the moment some 10 seconds behind Dunlop, and that is surprising. I think that was 17 just caught going through. That's Gordon Blackley, was 14th last year, ahead of number 16, Adrian Archibald. Adrian, who was retirement at the pits last year. There were the first 4 we've given you, 3, 7, 4 and 9. 13 next is Ewell Duncan, of course, riding with that number on. In 5th place, numbers 1 and 12, we can't separate them. That's Ian Locker and Jim Moody. They are jointly in 5th place, but 13 seconds down on number 9, David Jeffries. 7 seconds ahead of 7th place man, number 2, Nigel Davis. So that's number 17 going through. So it wasn't Gordon Blackley who went through before. I apologise for that because I missed that one. 11, James Courtney, who was 4th last year. James on the Ducati. And of course, James, who had the spill, I think, out at Greba last year. In 7th place, we've just given you number 2, Nigel Davis. He's 5 seconds ahead of 8th place man. Number 5, that's Ian Duffus. But it's Joey Dunlop who continues to lead, but only by 2 seconds. A very, very close race indeed. After, well, the second circuit here at the end of this, it'll be pit stops, and there's going to be all action in Gasoline Alley, that's for sure. 2nd place man is the one really to watch, Michael Rutter there. 19, Brian Gardner. 11th for him last year on the Honda. 18 now is Gary Carswell. The locals that have been mentioned, he was 15th last year on the Yamaha. So just looking back to that leaderboard, a great run too by John McGuinness on the Vimto Honda. John, who was also a retirement at the pits last year, looking to go better. But Joey Dunlop leads. He's had already some 23 wins on this course. And is this going to be win number 24? Well, it'll be a while before we know that. And certainly there's a lot more people who are going to have a say in that shake-up, not least of which number 7, Michael Rutter. 21 now is Simon Smith. So the news from Glen Helen lap 2 is that Dunlop leads by a slightly extended margin, 2 seconds from number 7, Michael Rutter. Rutter in turn 6 seconds ahead of 4, McGuinness. McGuinness 2 seconds ahead of number 9, David Jeffries. Then it's 1 and 12 together. That's Locker and Jim Moody, followed by 2 and 5. With that, back to the Motorcycle News Grandstand.
En tête après le premier tour du circuit, le numéro 3, Joey Dunlop. 8 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 7, Michael Rutter. Presque 5 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 4, John McGuinness en 3e. Peter.
Danke, Mavis. Joey Dunlop hat hier nach der ersten Runde 0,3 Sekunden Vorsprung vor Startnummer 7 Michael Rutter. Dritter ist Startnummer 4 John McGuinness. Er liegt 4,6 Sekunden hinter Rutter, damit zurück zu Peter Neal.
We've had a request, please, once again, for spectators around the course not to use flash cameras, especially around the waterworks area. If you have a camera that has automatic flash, please just put a piece of tape over that flash. It's very dangerous to riders. Please do not use cameras with automatic flash. So, we've got a big difference there then from here. And I can tell you also that number 42, Sandra Barnett, is circulating well and pretty well on course. In position on the road at the end of that first lap, and more breaks.
Boing! It's time for bed, said Zebedee. Protection beyond convention. FM helmets.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Now, as I was saying, Sandra Barnett numerically on the road is keeping up with the rest of the competitors. 57 and 58 go past us. They're on their way. We're on our way now to motorcycle news at Ramsey Hairpin.
You couldn't have written a better script, could you? Your man, the Silver Fox, 48 years young, William Joseph, and here he comes now. He leads on the road, and this is exactly his cup of tea. Jim Stewart holds the board out. Let's just start the watch there. That beautiful machine. Let's do it now. He points the rear wheel. He points the rear wheel. He wants a back tyre. He wants a back tyre. He'll be coming in as we now get number 1, Ian Locker, and he was a bit slow on the pointing. He suddenly had an afterthought and just pointed to the rear tyre. That Joey will just wants a rear tyre. No indication on the front. This is the ride for me, though. John McGuinness. What a ride this is. And this machine is by no means in the same division as that machine that is being ridden by Joey Dunlop. Only his second ever meeting on the big 4/4 John McGuinness, as he rode at the Northwest 200, rode the 500V twin here last year. That's Cap Davis going through. Good quality. A little shake of the head from Cap Davis then, as he ran wide and got onto the damp stuff. A little shake of the head, but we're awaiting then on number 7. 42 seconds has elapsed, so Joey is increasing this lead. Here comes Michael. Here comes Michael. He just pops it into the corner now. Stop the watch there. 48.2 is 8 1/4 seconds. That has moved up. What was a 2-second advantage is now up to 8 1/4 seconds here at Ramsey. So on those 15 miles, the demanding 15 miles, Joey again has shown his superiority. Here comes number 9. This is David Jeffries. David Jeffries, he sits on the saddle, no sign there. Number 5, Ian Duffers follows along behind. Gingerly as they go over the damp patches under the trees, and they've got to exercise caution. We see a number of the riders, the back wheels just fishtailing left and right as they get on the power with the damp track as the water just comes down off of the cliffs coming down from the waterworks up ahead. Well, Joey Dunlop will be well on his way now, heading up on toward the mountain, a man who by his own confessions doesn't really enjoy scratching with another rider too much on the circuit, enjoys to set his own pace, and what a pace this will be. This, of course, is pit stop time, and with that a Suzuka 8-hour factory Honda rear end on that, it'll be a split-second rear wheel change as far as they are concerned. Jeffries has gone up into second place. Well, we can now show that Jeffries has gone up into second place, so it's all beginning to shuffle about. Whatever the problem was, he's now taken the second place away from Michael Rutter. It's Dunlop by 6 seconds, Joey Dunlop by 6 seconds only from number 2. I'm just looking there to see Jim Moody goes through, and no problem there. Jim Moody is through. So the drama continues. Whatever the problem was with David Jeffries, he may have scared himself, he may have had a moment, he may have been taking it just cautiously with the particular tyres he's got on board. Whatever, he's ridden through it, and Jeffries is now back on the boil. Number 3 Dunlop leads by 6 seconds from number 9 David Jeffries, just 2 seconds up on number 7 Michael Rutter, but Michael Rutter is just 1 second up on John McGuinness on the second of the Honda Britain Vimto Honda SB1s. Well, what a marvellous, marvellous ride this is for the 250 lap record holder, John McGuinness, current leader of the 250 British Championship back home on the short circuits. Behind John McGuinness, being shuffled in there, goes Ian Locker, Hector Neal's rider on the Tempo Auto Salvage R71, which really is an R171. That machine, the same as Jeffries, the same as Michael Rutter, is basically a 1000 R1 chassis with a little bit of R7 chassis grafted in, and then the 1000 R1 motor, whereas the machine of Cap Davis, Nigel Davis, that is an R7 chassis pure and through, and they've slotted the R1 motor in. That really is an R71. Well, where can we shuffle Locker in? He's fifth. Ian Locker is fifth, 22 seconds down on John McGuinness, but just 2 seconds up on Jim Moody, number 12. There's Sean Harris, number 14, just going through the hairpin on Patsy O'Kane's R1. So we've got leading Joey Dunlop, number 3, by 6 seconds from number 9, David Jeffries. 2 seconds up on number 7, Michael Rutter. But it was just 1 second that Rutter led from John McGuinness here at the hairpin. Then 22 seconds back on McGuinness, we have Ian Locker running in 5th place. 2 seconds only up on Jim Moody, and we can then shuffle in Nigel Cap Davis. Nigel Cap Davis and Ian Duffus, they get shuffled in what, position 7th and 8th as James Courtney goes through there. Yes, that is James. James, who incidentally for the Tandra has moved across for a right-hand gear shift and a thumb-operated rear brake, and he says he's adapted to it like a duck to water. The legacy, of course, of his crash down there at Griever Castle on the 250 last year that has left restricted movement in that right ankle. So let's just tell you what we've got then is Dunlop from Jeffries, from Rutter, from McGuinness, from Locker, from Moody. 7th up there, number 2, Cap Davis. 8th up, number 5, Ian Duffus. And 9th position, number 10, Jason Griffiths. So we move ahead once again for the action in Gasoline Alley, and we fly ahead to the Motorcycle News Grandstand.
I'm working myself up into an absolute frenzy, said Ermintrude. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
All the latest news, the tests, the analysis. And you can get it all a day before anyone else. Motorcycle News. Get the TT Special Edition here on the Isle of Man on Tuesday.
The light is on over number 3. How many times have we said that over the past 25 years? It indicates to us here at the grandstand that number 3, Joey Dunlop, is safely through Cronk-Namona and down for the pit stops. And the pit stops, as we said earlier, they'll be crucial in this race with just, 9 seconds covering the first 3. In fact, the first 4, 9 seconds only. 2 V&M Yamahas, 2 Hondas. It's a real battle for supremacy in the Duke TT Formula 1 2000 race. Number 4, John McGuinness. Number 1, Ian Locker, also indicated as having circulated the corner. Well, it's not quite a corner, it's more of a sweep, isn't it, at Cronk-Namona? And we reckon it's about a mile and a bit down, about a minute that they take to get down once the light has come on. So we're listening now for the first. Here he is. Let's go down and join Jeff.
This is the test. Honda versus Yamaha. Joey with the back wheel to get in a double-sided swinging arm. He comes into the stop box ever so sedately. His pit is right by me. He accelerates up to it now. We'll get a time after the pit stops. The bike goes up onto the jack now, and this is what they've practiced so many times. Changes the visor. The petrol is going in as Locker and McGuinness arrive. The wheel goes in onto the hub. The spindle has to go in. There's McGuinness and Locker side by side coming in. Joey's spindle nut goes on, and the job is done. The petrol is not in, so they've beaten the petrol, and away we go now. Electric start on it, and we start the watch. A minute till Jeffries has got to get here, and the crowd applaud the mechanics, and rightly so. Further down, McGuinness with his twin struggles to get the wheel into that machine as well, and Locker ahead of me. And here now is Cap Davies and Michael Rutter. John McGuinness is not quite ready to go yet. His wheel is in. There's Davies, and here is Rutter. Whips in just ahead of McGuinness. McGuinness, what's the problem? He's checking to see is the wheel okay. He gets the thumbs up. Rutter changing his helmet. Remarkable. Jeffries at the pits now, though, and we're waiting for a timeout on him. Down on the Honda, but plenty of time to go yet. New wheel for him as well. Takes a drink as Duffus comes in right behind him. Now then, we're coming up to that minute, which was the corrected starting time. And we're ready to go. It seems pretty leisurely, but the petrol's not in as yet. There's the minute gone. Jeffries clutch in. The jack is still on, though. And away we go now. And it's 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Tim O'Hanlon gives me a nod. I think that's correct. 7 seconds now as Duffus refuels. Also a rear wheel change here. And off we go. Not too keen to start that one, though. In fact, it won't go. Duffus's machine is struggling to restart. It will not go, and he's stuck at the side. The mechanic pushing like fury as Degerholm comes in. And Duffus's machine is not going, and he's moody on the Fireblade. Degerholm and Jason Griffiths. Jim changing his helmet. Wheels being changed on nearly all machines here now, and what a job it is without the single swinging arm. And Duffus's machine refuses to fire. He's still down the bottom end and it won't go. What a shame for the Scot. And Moody just checking everything over. He's very calm about it. It seems to take an age for the petrol to go in. But let's go, go, go. He goes. And Schiffer all lights up. But Duffus, of all things, is stuck down the bottom of the pits. And his machine will not restart. Let's see if we can get a quick flash from Tim O'Hanlon here on the times.
Yes, well, I make it 9 seconds because Jeffries took about 2 seconds to get his engine fired up, and therefore Jeffries 9 seconds behind Dunlop, 7 seconds ahead of Rutter, 7 seconds ahead of McGuinness, and Moody 17 seconds further behind.
OK, well, clearly the Fireblade can't keep with the twin, but he's a retirement for Blair Degerholm. What can be the trouble with the big Kawasaki? What's up?
Rear brake's gone. I got no rear brake at all, so don't know where to go.
OK, that is a shame because you're going all right. Duffus's bike is being reversed up the pit lane, almost certainly a retirement as Gary Dines whips the big rock 4-cylinder 2-stroke Yamaha in. And what a disappointment there. 2 top men in the top 10 gone, Degerholm and Duffus. And it just won't fire up. It just never even lit up after the refueling at all. And Dines looks like a retirement. He's off the bike. Gearbox problems, is it? What's up? What's up?
I don't know.
What, engine or gearbox?
Engine, I think.
OK, engine problems as Sean Harris whips in, the New Zealander. And it looks like Duffus is out of the race. And what a disappointment. Doesn't work for you at all, does it?
Seems like the battery's gone flat.
Of all the things, a Tupney component.
Just one of the things at the TT, you know.
OK, what's conditions like? Is it wet?
Yeah, there's a couple of wee dodgy bits, but generally 99% good.
OK, well, I'm very sorry. One of the great competitors there, Nice Harris at the pits now and ready to go. Clutch in, bottom gear. Shouts. 3, 2, 1, bang! And she just slips a bit there. Yule Duncan comes in. Courtney is behind him. Courtney with the big twin Ducati. Whips it in smartly. Front brake on. Lifts the back wheel very slightly. Yule Duncan calm enough at the pits. And 19. Brian Gardner whips in on Mark John's bike there. Courtney at the pits, calm stop here for him. Gary Carswell coming here, but I'm sure the leaders will almost be at Motorcycle News Glen Helen.
Indeed they will, Jeff. We await the arrival of Dunlop as the crowd begin to stir. 9 seconds is advantage at the grandstand. 1 pit stop out of the way, but there's another one. The waves of the crowd tell me he's here. Round the right-hander, round the long sweeping left. Always the same line. Always very smooth. Never looks as though he's going that fast, but absolutely brilliant and superb performance. He's got a 9-second advantage, so the clocks are on now, but it'll be some time, obviously, before the rest of the chasing pack are due. 9 seconds the advantage over number 9, David Jeffries at the grandstand. He, in turn, had a 7-second advantage over Michael Rutter, and a further 7 seconds on that was behind that was John McGuinness, and they'll be charging through here as they come up through Glen Helen. Machine is in view. First one of those is number 4, so that's McGuinness, and right behind him is Ian Locker. So this Formula One in almost perfect conditions is turning out to be an absolute cracking race, and we've only just 2 laps gone, or just over, and disappointment unfortunately there for Ian Duffus, and also a flat battery, quite amazing. And Blair Degerholm, who put his ambition down as being a podium position. Well, it won't be in this race, but here's number 7 Rutter, Michael Rutter on the V&M. Neat, stylish, those day-glow leathers. He's ahead on the road, of course, of number 2 there. That's Nigel Cap Davies. But there's number 9. That's David Jeffries. So he's still caught up time there on Michael Rutter, and maybe has extended his advantage, which was 7 seconds over Rutter, who was lying in 3rd place on corrected time. So Ian Turnbull starts to shuffle those times, and we'll see what lead Joey Dunlop has here on lap 3 at Glen Helen after the first of 2 pit stops. An absolutely amazing performance. All of those early runners with wheel changes successfully completed, but there's always a risk when you go in the pits, and certainly Duffus has found that. So I can tell you that the lead has been reduced, however, by David Jeffries. He's pulled 2 seconds back on that 9. It's now 7 seconds, and Jeffries, certainly after the first lap, where he seemed to be a little gingerly, to say the least, and was quite obviously lost a lot of time, has begun to pull that back, and this race is not over by a long, long way, because not only has David Jeffries reduced the time difference to 7 seconds on number 3 Joey Dunlop, but he's now 12 seconds ahead of Michael Rutter, so he's pulled out. Thought that was the case. It was certainly visual as they went through here. The gap has closed, however, between Rutter and John McGuinness. John McGuinness just 5 seconds down on Michael Rutter. Another machine interview. Number 12, Jim Moody. He's safely through as well, and of course Dunlop now will be coming across some of the later runners. Number 10, Jason Griffiths. Well, on the Railkel's Yamaha, Jason might have hoped to have been a little further up. He was in 6th place last year. We had him down in 9th as they passed here on lap 2. But it's Dunlop who leads by a reduced margin, 7 seconds over number 9, a pre-race favourite, and leader in practice, David Jeffries, who I think is beginning to move on a bit now. He's 12 seconds ahead of Michael Rutter, who is in 3rd. Rutter, in turn, has a 5-second advantage over number 4, John McGuinness. John McGuinness, who'll be looking to improve on his retirement of last year, lying in that 4th place. And then we start to get the gaps, because it's then 24 seconds back to... in 5th place, number 12, Jim Moody, who's just gone through, who was 8 seconds up on in 6th place, number 1, Ian Locker. Ian, of course, who was first away. But it wasn't very long before Joey Dunlop passed him. I think it was Ramsey, in fact, on lap 1, or certainly just after that, that Joey Dunlop got ahead on the road. He's had a clear road ever since. He's negotiated the pit stop, but I think Jeffries is on the charge, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that lead reduced even more by the time they get to Ramsey. Remember, it's 7 seconds here that Dunlop leads number 9, David Jeffries. It's the Honda leading the Yamaha. Then in 3rd place, number 7, Michael Rutter. Number 54, as I thought, they're starting to mix it with some of the later runners. That's John Reed. So it's another Yamaha in 3rd place ahead of McGuinness, the Honda of McGuinness. So it's Honda, Yamaha, Yamaha, Honda. Then number 12 in 5th place is Jim Moody. 8 seconds up on 6th place man, number 1, Ian Locker. Just looking down the leaderboard, another men to watch. Number 16, Adrian Archibald, was going quite well on the Dowd Britain Honda. Another of our Irish competitors. There's number 14. I think that's the one I missed last time. That's Sean Harris, the New Zealander on the PJ O'Kane Yamaha. The distinctive green fared outfit, number 14, Sean Harris. So we'll give him a mention because he should be slotting in up there too. He's obviously ahead of number 16, Adrian Archibald. But the news from Glen Helen lap 3 is that Joey Dunlop has a reduced advantage of 7 seconds over the man on the charge, David Jeffries. David Jeffries 12 seconds ahead of Michael Rutter, number 7. He in turn 5 seconds ahead of number 4, John McGuinness. Then 24 seconds gap to number 12, Jim Moody. Then 1, 2, 10 and 14. With that, back to the Motorcycle News Grandstand.
That Ermintrude's a right cow, said Florence in a flounce. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Come Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Selon les temps chrono, c'est le numéro 3, Joey Dunlop, en tête avec 5 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 9, David Jeffries. Lui, 8,9 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 4, John McGuinness en troisième. Peter.
Dankeschön. Nach dem ersten Boxenstopp nach Runde 2 liegt Joey Dunlop mit der Startnummer 3 9 Sekunden vor Startnummer 9 David Jeffries und 7 Sekunden vor Startnummer 4 John McGuinness. Zurück zu Peter Neal.
It looks like number 16, Adrian Archibald, who was mentioned there, has a problem. His light has been on for some while now, that he had passed Cronknamona, but not arrived here at the end of lap number 2. So number 16, Adrian Archibald, who seemed to be going very well, certainly dropped down now. That light's been on, I suppose, now for more than a minute. Could be a petrol problem or something, but he certainly hasn't arrived. But now, Joey will be arriving at Motorcycle News, Ramsey Hairpin.
And we can give you the answer to the disappearance of Adrian McFarland. He stopped here at Ramsey Hairpin. He is out of oil. The oil flags are out, thankfully off of the racing line. Obviously sprung an oil leak somewheres, and here it's himself. Now, gingerly approaches, he sees that oil flag, and he was just on it. In fact, he was just on the cement dust, and neatly through. Well, is he on his way to his greatest ever victory? Well, Joey Dunlop, 23 wins. He's scored some sensational wins, but who would have thought it? Himself, at 48 years young, 5 times a Formula One world champion, invited to Buckingham Palace on 2 occasions, the MBE, the OBE. Well, will it be a knighthood for Sir William? Who knows? This boy just goes on and on and on. And to put the minds at rest of all the fans around the circuit, I'll put the question to him. Let's just take this. This is John McGuinness. Wonderful ride by John. Well done, John. Flint McGuinness got that little Indian doll painted on the back of the helmet. That wards off the evil spirits. When I put the question to Joey Dunlop, is he going to retire? He says, no, he ain't going to retire. So Joey will be coming back again next year. Have no fears on that. There is Ian Locker, 4 times a TT winner. Not, though, in the large capacity class, with the exception of the 750 production. We've got 1 minute before we get number 9 here. It's 59 seconds. It's 1 minute, so Joey still leads this one. Joey still leads this one. And right now, so Michael Rutter are there together. Michael Rutter on the inside one. Michael Rutter and his teammate. And Michael Rutter just looks lazily across his left shoulder. And DJ storms around the outside. And he is now 5 seconds. Well, I've got 4.78. 4 seconds. We're going to settle on 4 seconds. 4 seconds is the advantage to Joey Dunlop. That has come down. It was 7 seconds. I reckon that it's probably just under 5 seconds. I've got 4.78 seconds. Doesn't really matter. 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It means that the fastest man on the circuit is none other than DJ from Yorkshire way. 3 times a TT winner. All 6'2" of him. 13 stone. David Jeffries. Whatever the problem was, he's ridden through it. Jeffries now is on the charge. He, of course, being quite a large character, he gets all the wind buffeting, and believe you me, at something like 195 miles an hour, for which the V&M machine is geared for on the run down toward the Highlander, on the run down toward Brandish to Brandywell, Brandish, isn't it, and places like that, and even over the Mountain Mile. He has big problems tucking that frame in behind the little mini screen on the V&M R1, and he'll know that he's been in a race today. Will David Jeffries? Well, David Jeffries 20 seconds up on Michael Rutter. Michael is just 2 seconds up on John McGuinness. Still that battle with Michael Rutter and John McGuinness. McGuinness inch by inch, foot by foot, yard by yard, pulling back. He's now down to 2 seconds. This is number 12. This is Jim Moody. 7 times a TT winner on the Honda Fireblade, and a slightly more cautious approach off on the inside from Jason. Well, if you look across his right shoulder, he could probably look in through his living room window. He lives on the estate right to the left here of the Ramsey hairpin. Dunlop, Jeffries, Rutter, McGuinness is the running order at this third attempt, the mid-time at Ramsey hairpin. Moody we can shuffle in, yes, in 5th position. Number 12, the galloping Glaswegian. Oh, it's not so much a Glaswegian now. He's moved to the upper part of town, to Hamilton, where the old academicals play, the old Hamilton academicals. So posh up there that if you call the fire brigade out, they arrive and say, who recommended us? Well, Jim Moody now is some 35 seconds down on McGuinness, but 7 seconds up on Ian Locker. Number 1, Ian Locker, had his first ride on Hector Neal's Temple Auto Salvage R71 at the Northwest 200, and he was going well. He was going well there, was Ian, but was looking forward to the TT. Had 1 or 2 little problems, including the gear linkage that snapped, I think, in the second race at the Northwest. But nice to see Hector Neal back and taking an interest as a sponsor in the sport. But his rider is down in 6th place, albeit just looking for the time difference ahead of number 10, Jason Griffiths, who is 7th, 22 seconds back. Jason Griffiths, some 22 seconds back in 10th position. Well, for the race leader, Jerry Dunlop, it really is the run over the mountain, those 13 miles. It's the fast corners where Joey excels. And again, Joey was saying in our little interview session on Thursday that he found the machine very, very heavy compared to the RC45, compared to the RC30 in changing direction. And we put it to him, well, perhaps the reason for that is that you're now arriving down the straightaway so much quicker. And of course, you're fighting gyroscopic effect, whereby the motorcycle just wants to go in a straight line. And physically, he's got to pull on those bars. He's got to use his legs to force the machine down left and force the machine right. He says it is such hard work. And well, he's been in deep training. He stopped smoking some 4 years ago, so he's now a much fitter Joey Dunlop. This is number 14, Sean Harris. Sean, who wants to get in on the British Superstock Series and the British 250 Series. Good rider. We'll be seeing more of Sean around here a little later on. He holds a record here on the TT, does Sean Harris. The shortest ever lap a couple of years ago, started the one practice session and got no further than 10 yards. He fell off on the start line. Can't shuffle any more in, so before we go back to the start line, I can tell you that it is number 3, Joey Dunlop at Ramsey hairpin, 4 seconds ahead of number 9, David Jeffries, 20 seconds behind him, Michael Rutter, number 7, but 2 seconds only ahead of number 4, John McGuinness. McGuinness 35 seconds up on Jim Moody, number 12, who is 7 seconds up on Ian Locker, and then 22 seconds back is Jason Griffiths. With that, from the Motorcycle News Ramsey Point, we go ahead to the Motorcycle News Grandstand.
Boing, boing. I'll give him like boing, man, said Dylan. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
One day, you might meet Carl Fogarty. One day, you'll find the bike of your dreams. One day, you might find that elusive accessory. One day, you may find a show that's actually exciting. The new International Scooter and Motorcycle Show, the NEC Birmingham, from the 10th to the 19th November. The ultimate day out.
The light is on for your man. Joey is through Cronknamona. I can give you a list of retirements. We've heard about Ian Duffus, Gary Dines, Blair Deggerholm and Mark Flynn retiring at the pits. Number 16, Adrian Archibald at Governor's Bridge. Number 17, Gordon Blackley at Craignabar. 21, Simon Smith at Tower Bends. 22, Paul Hunt, as we heard here at the pits. Adrian McFarlane at Ramsey Hairpin. 41, John Donnan stopped at Crosby Hotel, made adjustments and proceeded after 10 minutes. And 51, Tony Reckberger was black flagged at Selby Bridge, made repairs to brake linkage and proceeded after 3 minutes and 22 seconds. They're the retirements for the Duke TT Formula 1 to date so far. Now we turn our attention to the leaders. Number 4, John McGuinness, is also indicated at Cronknamona, but here's Joey. Crosses the line now. We start the watch. We have 60 seconds to wait to see the difference between him and David Jeffries. 171.1 miles an hour, Joey, that time through the total MEA speed trap, the fastest to date. 171.1 miles an hour for number 3, Joey Dunlop. It's coming up to 25 seconds now since Joey crossed the line at 71, comes in for his pit stop. 78 leaves us. Number 7 and 9 are also indicated at Cronknamona. The time difference, remember, between Joey Dunlop and David Jeffries was exactly 1 minute. Another of the higher numbers. There's John McGuinness. McGuinness goes through. And Joey had a lap there, including his pit stop, of course, of 19 minutes 3.5, 118.78. It's 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. The minute's up. There's number 1, Ian Locker, and he's a flying yellow machine as David Jeffries. I stopped my watch. 4.5 seconds, I make it, and Jeffries there ahead of number 7, Michael Rutter. I stopped my watch on 4.5 seconds. Joey still leading, the time to be confirmed shortly. That's just off our stopwatch here. There's number 82 getting away after his pit stop, and number 2 miles an hour slower than Joey Dunlop. So that SB, the twin, certainly is a flyer. And Joey is averaging for the 3 laps 120.55 miles an hour. There's number 2, Cap Davis, another leaderboard man. But just again, it was 4.5 seconds we made it the lead for Joey Dunlop, number 3, over number 9, David Jeffries. Numbers 10, Jason Griffiths, and 12, Jim Moody, also indicated there at Cronknamona. Number 75 below us having a pit stop, and we'll take a quick break.
Boing! It's time for bed, said Zebedee. Protection beyond convention. FM helmets.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
We know why you do it. Motorcycle news. You can't afford to miss a thing. Out every Wednesday.
The official time difference at the end of lap 3 half distance, Joey Dunlop, number 3, leads number 9, David Jeffries, by 4.7 seconds. In third place, number 7, Michael Rutter, is 21.3 seconds down on David Jeffries. And in fourth place, number 4, John McGuinness, is just 5.7 seconds down on Michael Rutter. So it's 3, 9, 7 and 4, just waiting for the time to be slotted in to confirm that Jim Moody is still holding on to his 5th place. He is indeed, and he's 36 seconds down on John McGuinness, with Ian Locker tucked in there in 6th place, number 1, 13.4 seconds down. So it's 3, 9, 7, 4, 12 and 1, and the important difference is the difference between number 3 and number 9. Joey Dunlop, 4.7 seconds ahead of number 9, David Jeffries. Joey had a lap in 19 minutes 3.5, 118.78. David Jeffries, 19 minutes 7.7, 118.34. So that's the position here. It's 4.7 seconds. What will it be at Motorcycle News, Glen Helen?
Yes, indeed, Peter, what will it be here? Because it looks as though from previous experience, Jeffries has pulled time out on this 9.5 mile run. As I say, 1 or 2 of the later runners. The second machine is Dunlop's. And he's right behind there. Number 79 is going to get a shock there. That's Martin Child, but Dunlop safely through. So we put the watch on, and it's 1 minute on corrected time. So Joey Dunlop safely through here for the 4th time. Number 80, Trevor Stokes. So will these later runners have any impact? And, well, it's potentially possible. 1, 2 more together now, 65 and 51, so there's quite a number of them after their fuel stops. 51 there was Tony Reckberger. He's been around here a long time, as has, of course, our American friend, number 65, Wade Boyd, who puts in regular appearances on this excellent 37 3/4 mile circuit. But it's the earlier runners. The order's been the same for some while now, 3, 9, 7, 4. Those have been the first 4, only the times between them have changed, and will there be any change on this one? But here's number 4, that's John McGuinness, maintaining that second place on the road and flying through here. That looked very quicker than he has been before, so we'll see whether he's pulled any time back. Number 74 next is another of the later runners, Stuart Noon. So he's through here. That'll be for the 3rd time, of course, but there's number 9. So certainly David Jeffries very quick, because he's now ahead on the road of Michael Rutter, followed by 1, then 73 and 78, 2 of the later runners. So number 1, Ian Locker, also safely through there. We'll get that time as soon as I can. I can tell you Judd Dunlop still leads by 4 seconds, so it's only slightly reduced, 4.7 at the grandstand. 4 seconds here. It's still Dunlop who leads from Jeffries by 4 seconds. This really is a cracking race, and there's over 2 laps still to go, and yet another pit stop at the end of this lap, so that will be all important again. Number 66 next, David Caldwell. We can also mention Sandra Barnett, number 42. She seems to be circulating here very sedately and in a similar position every lap. Very competent rider. Number 2 now, Nigel Davis. Off the bottom end of the leaderboard there, but it's 4 seconds the advantage for Dunlop over number 9, David Jeffries. DJ there, 71. Also through Edward Poole. Then 23 seconds the advantage that David Jeffries has over number 7, Michael Rutter, who's got a 10-second advantage over number 4, John McGuinness, who slots into that 4th place. So the stations remaining the same, the chimes are changing slightly. 82, James Coward on his 3rd circuit as the sun streams down here now in perfect conditions on this Saturday afternoon for this tremendous Formula 1 race. And it's Joey Dunlop who leads by 4 seconds from number 9, David Jeffries, but a lot of racing left in this yet. 23 seconds then further back, number 7, Michael Rutter, who's having such a cracking run, and he's 10 seconds ahead of number 4, John McGuinness. Number 12, Jim Moody, is the man we're looking for next, and as we speak, he's here. He's round that long left-hander, just down to Jeff for a moment.
Yeah, Gary Carswell's here with half the exhaust hanging off. Where did that go?
Just coming down the mountain.
Pity.
Big shame that, Jeff.
Okay, you're going well. Shame about that. The whole exhaust has fallen to bits. Back to Morris MCN Glen Helen.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. As you speak there, Jason Griffiths has just gone through here. Jason, we should be able to slot in round about 7th place. Also through was number 83, one of the later runners, Herbert Robinson. I think, in fact, he was potentially last away. Number 12, we can slot in Jim Moody, who's still holding on to that 5th place, but 37 seconds down on John McGuinness. That's slightly increased. Number 1, Ian Locker, undoubtedly will be 6th, and number 10, Jason Griffiths, in that 7th place, just a position worse than, in fact, he was last year. Number 13, Yuel Duncan pulled in here and had a chat with 1 or 2 people in the crowd, not quite sure what that was all about, because he took off straight away. And, of course, it was Yuel who had an incident here last time we were on air, I think back last September. So Yuel Duncan still going safely. 17 seconds now. That is number 10, Jason Griffiths, is behind number 1, Ian Locker, between 6th and 7th. And Locker, in turn, is 14 seconds down on number 12, Jim Moody. We can slot number 2, Nigel Cap Davis, who was 7th last year. He's now running in 8th position, 14 seconds down on number 10, local competitor Jason Griffiths. So we're on lap 4. It's number 3, Joey Dunlop, who continues to lead. He's led here, on every lap so far, but his lead has varied between, I think, 4 and 9 seconds. So it's still been quite tight all the way around. Down the mountain, he seems to pull perhaps a little bit out, and it'll be interesting to see whether he does that on this lap as they come in, of course, towards their 2nd pin stop. That is after having been visited their Fred over there in Ramsey. But it's number 3, Joey Dunlop, who leads by 4 seconds from number 9, Jeffries. Jeffries, in turn, 23 seconds ahead of Rutter. Rutter, 10 seconds ahead of 4, McGuinness. He's 37 seconds up on number 12, Jim Moody. Moody, in turn, is 14 seconds ahead of 6th place man Locker. 17 seconds beyond that is Jason Griffiths. Jason Griffiths, 14 seconds ahead of number 2, Nigel Davis, who's in 8th. With that, back to the Motorcycle News grandstand.
I'm working myself up into an absolute frenzy, said Ermintrude. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
When you're at the greatest road racing festival in the world, you need the greatest selection of clothing to mark the event. Make sure you visit the shopping area behind the grandstand. It's open all day, every day, and you'll find the official TT clothing from fleeces to polos, jackets to caps. Plus, there's refreshments available all day. So stop at the shopping centre behind the grandstand.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Après 3 tours, toujours en tête, le numéro 3, Joey Dunlop, 4,7 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 9, David Jeffries. Lui, 21,3 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 7, Michael Rutter. Peter.
Danke, Mavis. Nach der 3. Runde Start Nummer 3. Joey liegt immer noch vorne, jetzt mit 4,7 Sekunden vor Start Nummer 9, David Jeffries. Der hat 21,3 Sekunden Vorsprung vor Startnummer 7, Michael Rutter. Und dann noch etwas Wichtiges für das niederländische Gespann. Team mit der Nummer 80, Leo Knippers, der im Moment in Uni Mills sein soll bitte möglichst schnell mit dem ganzen Klamotten, Leder und Helmen zum Paddock kommen, also zum Fahrerlager. Leo Knippers in Uni Mills, bring bitte die Ausrüstung für dein Gespann mit hier zu Start und Ziel, damit zurück zu Peter.
Thank you. And just to recap once again on the total MEA speed trap, Joey Dunlop went through at 171.11, Michael Rutter at 170, and David Jeffries at 168.8. So 171.1, 170 and 168.8. They're the top three. But now it's Motorcycle News, Ramsey Hairpin.
Yes, you can add about 25 miles an hour plus onto those speeds for maximum speeds around the TT course. That is just there at the grandstand. Well, here's himself. Here's your man. Let's have a look at this. Pick up the watch. Now, let's just keep our eyes on Joey. Any indication? Looks to the rear wheel, looks to the rear wheel, was not a point to the rear wheel, but he looked to the rear wheel, if that means anything to the boys over there in pits lane. But he was on the boil, and he just kept his head firmly behind the bubble. He's now away, heading up onto the mountain. Well, from here he's up toward the waterworks, heading then on toward the Tower Bends, and up then toward the Gooseneck. That run then from the Gooseneck that will take him up toward Guthrie's onto the Mountain Mile, and he'll be knocking on 190 mile an hour plus, probably 195, may even be knocking on the door of a shade more than that. And it's those two right-handers at the end of the Mountain Mile that really do take the hard work to bend it away right-handed through there. Then on the anchors for the mountain box, that's the next obstacle that he'll be facing. Well, we await for the next rider on the road. It's going to be the number 9 man we're looking for. The next on the road, of course, on the leaderboard is there. Number 4, John McGuinness. John with that helmet, I always remember about that helmet, is based on the design of an ancient vase or vase, as there is number 9, and that has come down to, I reckon, is just below 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds is the advantage. Joey Dunlop has been pulled back now to 1.5 seconds. David Jeffries has got the bit between his teeth. DJ triple winner here last year. Well, is he going to steal the thunder of Honda on the final hurdle? Of course, they've got to go into Gasoline Alley, but the fastest man on the circuit is unmistakably DJ. He's pulled back some 2.5 seconds on the run down from Morris over there on the lowlands down at Glen Helen, and the run right the way through the 15 miles, and what a tortuous 15 miles that is before they then come on to effectively the run that is almost short circuit style going over the mountain. 28 seconds back, Michael Rutter in third place. He's increased that advantage though over John McGuinness by some 3 seconds. Flint McGuinness now goes back some 13 seconds back to 4th position, but the chips are really down now. It ain't over till it's over. Joey Dunlop leading by just 1.5 seconds from in second place. DJ from Yorkshire way, David Jeffries, the 27-year-old triple winner here at the TT last year, triple winner at the Northwest 200. Well, he didn't get the triple wins at the Northwest this year. That went to Michael Rutter. Michael Rutter running third on the leaderboard as we stand here at the moment. Waiting to shuffle in these extra runners. Nice little story from Joey during the practice week. Joey went out on his 250, and somewheres out on the lonely part of the course, he ran out of fuel with his 250. Knew he had to get back to go out on the bigger bikes, so a little bit like Paul Daniels, he fished down in his leathers and pulled out a little length of tubing mysteriously arriving from somewhere, saw a couple of bikes parked, asked one of the spectators, and he siphoned a pint, he siphoned some fluid, some petrol out into a little milk carton as Jim Moody goes through, siphoned about a pint out into a milk carton, put it in the tank, and was just about to get started when the fella said, hey, that's neat petrol, not two-stroke. So Joey mysteriously appeared with a spanner and took some oil out of the front fork and put it in the tank and got back to the start line. Is there no end to the man's ingenuity? Rutter then, who was running third, 13 seconds of John McGuinness. We were just waiting to shuffle in number 12, Jim Moody, which we can do. In 5th position, we confirmed that he's there, but that gap is increasing in terms of the advantage to McGuinness. It's gone up from 37 seconds to 41 seconds. Jim Moody now in 5th place, 41 seconds down on Flint McGuinness. And then in 6th place, it is still number 1, Ian Locker. Incidentally, that last time around here at Ramsey Hairpin, Patrick O'Hanlon, when we went off air, did say that Richard Britton is knocking on the door of the top 10. In fact, he was up into 9th position, Richard Britton, at the end end, or the third time here at Ramsey Hairpin. So we've got Dunlop, we've got Jeffries, we've got Rutter, McGuinness, Moody and Locker, but it is very much a two-horse race. There's no disputing that. We've got the man from Ballymoney and we've got the man from Baildon in Yorkshire. One rides a Honda and one rides a Yamaha. Well, who's it going to be? It could all be sorted out when they get in toward Gasoline Alley. Very neat pit work on that first trip in toward the pit stop, and they've got to do it one more time. And remember, the only flying lap of this sixth race will be the very last lap, and with conditions improving all the time, I'm wondering, remember the outright lap record, 18 minutes 11.4, 124.45 miles an hour. Are we going to see that improved upon? Would it be your man or would it be DJ? And I think just about that, we've got no further time. Yes, we can just shuffle in seventh. Jason Griffiths, 21 seconds down on Locker. 15 seconds behind him, we've got Cap Davis. So it's 3, 9, 7, 4, 12, 1, 10, and number 2. So that's it from Motorcycle News Ramsey. Back to the Motorcycle News start.
That Ermintrude's a right cow, said Florence in a flounce. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Profis fahren Arai. Arai-Helme, weltweit die Nummer 1. Holt euch eure Arai-Helme in Deutschland in allen Goto-Helm-Studios. Übrigens, Goto-Helm-Studio und die Freizeitidee bieten super Reisetouren für euren nächsten Inseltrip an. Arai, there's a difference.
We have a message for Leo Knipers, who is at Union Mills. He's asked by Martin Vollebrecht, who is number 80 in the sidecar event, to please return to the paddock with Martin's leathers and helmet. Apparently he's out spectating. Martin's getting ready for the sidecar race, and he'd rather like to be kitted out properly. So Leo Knipers out there at Union Mills, if you could return immediately, please, with the leathers and the helmet. Now the lights on safely for Joey, number 3. It through Cronknamona. Used to be signpost corner, but they're getting that quicker. Went back to Cronknamona now, and it's just about a minute, I think, from when that clock comes on till they get here, because of course it includes the slow corner, so slowish like signpost and the nuke. And let's go down to Jeff.
And here he is coming over the skyline here, and this is really tight. Honda versus Yamaha, and Joey's second pit stop. Time him on the line into the stop box now, and a minute now for David Jeffrey. But Joey stalled it, but he lights it up with the electric starter. Thank heavens for that. And he's into the pits, and it's another back wheel. Davey Wood just checking. It's a drink for Joe. Change of visor. The back wheel is out. The new wheel is going to go in. It slots in quite easily. There is actually plenty of time, but fingers and thumbs. Joey just checking the rear end. Power tools whip the wheel in now. The MIG nut with the torque wrench. The fuel is in and we're gone. That was a 30-second pit stop from the line, including that stall. I reckon they did that in about 25 seconds. Now then, can Jeffries get here in the next 20 seconds? 40 on the clock. We're looking up the road. This is not him. He might be in the middle of this group. No, it's not, though. It's none of these three. Somebody on the right-hand side as well. It's not him. 50 seconds. 60 seconds is the time we're after. And here he is. He's right behind John McGuinness. 55, 56, 57. McGuinness is first into the box. 59. Joey still leads. It's absolutely neck and neck. There's nothing in it. My watch has stopped it exactly a minute. And that's the corrected starting time from when the event started. The stand goes in. The back wheel is coming out for a third back wheel for this tremendous race. McGuinness is ahead of him. David Jeffries takes a drink and he's Rutter. Can they get a V&M 1-2 out of this, or will it be 1-3? Or will the Honda defeat them? Locker into the box as well. Jeffries takes his time, very cool. McGuinness and Rutter all ahead of me here. The fuel comes up, the back wheel is in. There's the wrench going. Nips the nut up, off the stand. There's McGuinness trying. They're both going together here now. There they go, and McGuinness beats him out. And I'll get the time out from Tim O'Hanlon there.
Jeffries has lost 6 seconds in the pits to Dunlop.
Okay, Dunlop, an absolutely really slick pit stop, and here's Rutter going away. And he lights up okay, and now Locker. But there's Yeah, I thought he had a clutch problem there, but no, we're away. It is a mighty machine. Wow, they've all gone then. I'm not kidding you. I lie not. My watch is absolutely upright on the 60 seconds as they came in, but a slicker pit stop by the Honda crew took 6 seconds. And that could be the winning advantage. Jeffries will have to go, but I'm sure he won't let that deter him. He can make it up as he's done already, and he's Cap Davies, number 2. Whips into the centre of the pits. And he's the only caller we have at the moment. Paul Hunt standing there looking rueful. And there's no rear wheel for Cap Davies, just sticks to the same one, fuel in. All the riders finding it exceptionally hot. New visor clipped into the helmet. And 2 laps to go. Okay?
Yeah, not too bad. We could have had a bit more practice. I think to set it up a bit better.
I make a start on it now then. Okay. He's Jim Moody now, number 12. The Fireblade just hasn't got the steam. And I bet he wishes he had one of the twins. But it's McGuinness, I think, who's the surprise of the day. Jim Moody changes his helmet again, as he did at the first pit stop. Tossing it himself, and here into the pits is Jason Griffiths. Pulls up calmly in the box. Whips in there ahead of Moody. Nearly ready now. Off the jack. And forward. Oh, what an electric start it does for you, for peace of mind, eh? And Griffiths now, and in fact James Courtney started his bike with one of the rolling rollers. Griffiths okay here. Windscreen getting cleaned. No rear wheel change on this machine. Must seem like an eternity sitting here when you've been e-rolling trying to save half a second round Hilbury. This tank, you would think it was actually an underground tank underneath the way it takes the time to come up. It's only a gravity fill, of course. Where's it going? Is there a hole in the bottom? No, we're going. Bang, yep. Oh, it hasn't fired. It hasn't fired. Yep, now it does, but that's a few more seconds down the pan for the Ramsey rider, formerly from Pontypool. Maybe Tim O'Hanlon now has a bit more of an idea of how the top 6 looks.
Yes, well, as I said, Dunlop has now got a 6-second lead over Jeffries. Jeffries, in turn, has a 30-second lead over Rutter. That was 28 at Ramsey. And Rutter is 13 seconds then ahead of McGuinness, which was identical to Ramsey. And Moody has picked up 7 seconds.
So it's 6 seconds then that Dunlop is in the lead with 2 laps to go. Can Jeffries nail it back again to deny the Honda? We'll find out what the gap is at Glen Helen by going over to the Motorcycle News commentary point there, and Maurice Maudsley.
Yes, thanks, Jeff. We await the arrival of what should be race leader, number 3, Joey Dunlop, and then we'll have the watches on to see whether he's managed to maintain that distance. He gets the cheers of the crowd and the waves. So you'll gather from that Joey's safely through, pit stops completed, and, well, the Honda pits seem to have the advantage. But will David Jeffries be able to pull that back on the road? So the clock ticks on, and Dunlop is safely through. Could I just remind once again the spectators, I know it's exciting, but those with automatic flashes, they're still going off all the way around here at Glen Helen. It's very dangerous. If anybody close to you is using one, please ask them not, or at least to cover up the flash on those cameras. So we look down the road to see the 2nd and 3rd place men on the road. That's very close on the road, of course, because McGuinness is going extremely well there. John, who retired last year, but it's Joey out on his own. That is, of course, in terms of the leading group, because, as I said before, there's still quite a number of the later runners that he's going to have to negotiate. Something like over a minute gone now, so certainly he leads. And 1, 2, 3, there's a number of back markers here, 3 of them, 70, 69 and 68, so and 61. So Jeffrey's not amongst those. The back end of that was number 61 there, Jeff Sawyer. 64, another, so there's quite a number of them. That's a lot of traffic that Jeffries is going to have to negotiate. And the clock ticks on, and it looks as though it's an extended advantage because he's not here. There's number 4, John McGuinness, but there's no sign. David Jeffries is not with him. McGuinness is on his own. No Jeffries. No Jeffries at Glen Helen, lap 5. Joey Dunlop's lead has increased. 79 through there now is Martin Child. And here's number 7, Michael Rutter, so there's no question about it. David Jeffries has gone missing on that run, and it's a tremendous advantage for Joey Dunlop. There's Ian Locker. So Joey Dunlop leads the Formula One on this Saturday afternoon by quite a margin. We'll shuffle in. Second place man will be Michael Rutter, almost certainly following that. But it's Joey Dunlop quite obviously who leads. He's safely through here on lap 5. But the news is Jeffries has not made it to Glen Helen on lap 5. 50 seconds now. Joey Dunlop leads from Michael Rutter. And could this be a 7th win in the Formula One for your man Joey Dunlop? Hasn't won this race since 1988. He achieved his first win back in 1983, some 17 years ago. And a tremendous performance it was then. He knocked up 6 on a row. Is he in line for his 7th TT Formula win, 24th overall? He leads by 50 seconds from new second place man Michael Rutter. Rutter in turn 12 seconds up on number 4 John McGuinness. McGuinness moves on to a podium place. I have some information that Jeffries' bike was observed smoking going through Ballacrane, so obviously difficulties there for Jeffries. 65 and 51 and some of the back markers, 59 and number 2 there is Nigel Davis there trying to get inside. Nigel Davis who'll move up a slot. So obviously those problems for David Jeffries appear to be mechanical. His machine was observed smoking through Ballacrane. That's just down from us here, but certainly not made it here up to now. Number 3, Joey Dunlop, an absolutely fantastic advantage. 50 seconds now. He'll no doubt be getting the signals, and that will enable him to knock off the pace somewhat slightly, and maybe the chance of that outside, that absolute lap record, or even a lap record in the Formula One has gone.
Just confirm, Morris, that David Jeffries has retired at Ballig. Perfectly okay. David Jeffries out at Ballig.
Well, disappointment there for Jeffries, and I suppose disappointment for us all in a sense that it was building up in a tremendous last couple of laps. 78, Phil Neen, a local competitor on the Fireblade, he's safely through here, but that'll be lap 4 for him. As I was saying, I think disappointment for us all because it was building up into an absolutely fantastic battle, and whilst the Honda crew obviously had the edge in Gasoline Alley, it looked as though potentially David Jeffries just had it on the margins, but that's not true anymore. You've got to finish it if you're going to win. That's number 73 through. And it's Dunlop now, 50 seconds, he's ahead of Michael Rutter. Rutter in turn, 12 seconds up on John McGuinness, so that's not over yet. Number 10 there, Jason Griffiths, he'll move up a slot as well. Jason in 6th place last year on the Rail Cowles, the Yamaha. So yes, we've got number 4, John McGuinness. He's 43 seconds ahead of number 12, Jim Moody, so pretty secure, at least in that 3rd place. Could be a bit of a battle there for 2nd and 3rd between number 7, Michael Rutter, and number 4, John McGuinness. 43 seconds then, as I said, John McGuinness leads number 12, Jim Moody, who's in 4th place. He's 11 seconds up on Ian Locker, so Ian Locker moves up to 5th. Jason Griffiths moves up to 6th, but he's 49 seconds down on Ian Locker and just 6 seconds ahead of Nigel Davis. 82, James Coward, we can give him a mention. Another one of the later runners, but drama, I'm afraid, at Glen Helen lap 5, and that disappointment that we already know about for Jeffries is out, but a tremendous lead now for Joey Dunlop. 50 seconds his advantage over Michael Rutter. Rutter in turn 12 seconds ahead of McGuinness, then 12-1, 10 and 2. With that, back to the Motorcycle News Grandstand.
Boing, boing. I'll give him like boing, man, said Dylan. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Come rain or shine, the venue on the Central Prom in Douglas guarantees the hottest TT action. Happy hours, 2 live bands every night, racing action with TT and British Superbike stars, plus the fair biker babes, bringing some very warm fronts and other bits your way. So for the ultimate storming TT party experience, get into the venue tonight.
Et il est en tête après 4 tours, le numéro 3, Joey Dunlop. Mais le numéro 9, David Jeffries, a abandonné la course. Il va bien, mais sa moto, non. Hein. En 3e, toujours, le numéro 7, Michael Rutter. Alors, quel Skumon pour Jeffries? Je passe le micro à Peter.
Danke. Hier bei Start und Ziel hatte nach dem Boxenstopp Joey noch 6 Sekunden Vorsprung vor Startnummer 9 David Jeffries, aber der ist mittlerweile bei Ballack Bridge ausgefallen, also dass die Reihenfolge mittlerweile so aussieht. Startnummer 3 Joey Dunlop vor Startnummer 7 Michael Rutter mit 50 Sekunden Vorsprung und dahinter Startnummer 4 John McGuinness auf der zweiten SP1. Peter Neal, bitte.
The lap record is 123.48, and Joey Dunlop on that lap lapped at 122.61. So will we see a new race record? The race record speed is 121.06. Joey was averaging at the end of lap 4. Retirement quickly, 23, 32, 52 and 80, all okay. And in fact, no, number 32 stopped and made adjustments. Now Motorcycle News, Ramsey.
Yes, and bear in mind, of course, Peter, as Joey now gingerly approaches and very casually takes a look across at the board, and he missed it. He looked across to where Jim Stewart is. I tell you what, Jim, you've blown your pint tonight, mate. Joey Dunlop, he caught us all out there. Joey Dunlop looked across to see what the pit board said, and he missed it. And I'm sure he was looking for confirmation that David Jeffries is out. Well, it's just as well Jim Stewart's going back to Ireland and won't be here for the rest of the week. That's blown it as far as your kick backside for you, Jim. But Joey, it was a ginger approach, and he certainly wanted confirmation of his advantage. Now, anybody up on the mountain that if you've got a spare board up there, we can tell you that it was 50 seconds. 50 seconds was the advantage to Joey Dunlop over Michael Rutter, and he's obviously looking to see the confirmation that he is on his own. Joey Dunlop, 50 seconds it was. Well, we've got to wait, of course, before Michael Rutter arrives thus far. Michael Rutter, who spent that abortive, wasted season, really in many respects, out on the Grand Prix scene last year, running the Joe Miller NSRV 500 V Twin in the Grand Prix. He's picked up, I think, just 1 point scoring. It was at Donington Park, 11th or 10th place at Donington Park. That was the net result of the efforts during 1999 as far as Michael Rutter was concerned. Joey, we heard from Peter, 122.61. Well, bear in mind, he's not yet had a flying lap. And I don't know whether you've got a watch started on this situation with Joey. I was always going to take the time. There's John McGuinness. There is John McGuinness. I was hoping that we might just be able to get a time on Joey Dunlop from Ramsey to Ramsey, which effectively would be his first flyer and only flyer when he comes through to see the end of this lap. There is Michael Rutter, and again, it's a very ginger approach. Laid back. Well, if a guy is laid back, that is the one that is king of the laid back riders, Michael Rutter. Go, this is a quick approach from Ian Locker. Keeps it on the island. Yep, nice approach. Well, Locker's looking to pick up some ground from somewhere. Here's a trio of them coming up toward us now, headed by number 70, and that's Robert Price. There's an RC30 in there. That's number 68, and that's Kevin Murphy, and that looks to be number 69, June Maida. June Maida, the Japanese rider it is. June Maida. Very, very good, June, very good. Oh, there's another trio coming up toward us now on the inside. Number 79 on the inside there. That's a Trevor Child, and an SP1, a standard SP1 around the outside. That was number 64, Jonas Svensson. Well, June Maida, he went to the Northwest 200 last year and managed to throw a borrowed 600 Honda away at Mathers Cross at about 140 miles an hour. He managed to fall off in practice here this week. Let's quickly look for the third place. That's the critical one. While Rutter is 17 seconds up on John McGuinness. He has pulled out a further 5 seconds on the 15-mile run from Glen Helen up toward us here at Ramsey. So the Dunlop advantage is 54 seconds ahead of Michael Rutter, who is 17 seconds ahead of John McGuinness. Well, I'm sure that he'll be getting that confirmation up on the mountain that he is now well on his own. There is number 2, Nigel Cap Davis. Cap Davis on the Steve Linsdell R7 chassis, R1 engined R71. Incidentally, Steve Linsdell, a lap earlier, we were almost wearing him here in the commentary box. He came up at a frightening rate of knots, and he was no way that he was going to stop for the hairpin, and thankfully he was able to make use of the hard standing lay-by here before rather apologetically waving and going on his way. Well, Cap Davis is his number 1 rider. Steve himself says, I don't get on too well with this one. I still go back to the Yamaha days when I ran the hub centre steered machine, and that really was like riding an armchair. A perfect ride here on the island. That's the background noise of the Fireblade of number 12, Jim Moody, going through. We're going to shuffle Jim Moody in, of course, now in 4th position. He was 43 seconds back on McGuinness. That will be amended to, come on, Patrick, 51. And there is number 51, machine number 51 going through there, and that is Tony Rechtberger, regular attender here. Says he comes from Australia. Well, if he does, he's moved. He actually comes from Austria, I think, what is known as typographical error. So Locker now 4 seconds down on Jim Mudley. So we've got Joey just pausing there for Jason, number 10, he'll shuffle in there, Jason Griffiths. We've got leading then, obviously enough, number 3, Joey Dunlop, 54 seconds up on Michael Rutter, number 7, who is 17 seconds up on McGuinness, 51 seconds back on him, Jim Moody, and 4 seconds back on him, Ian Locker. And then we shuffle in Jason Griffiths. Michael Rutter, whilst he's been away on the Grand Prix scene over this last 12 months, has become a father. He and his very charming, very pretty wife, Sandrine, I'm sure Sandrine and the little Bab are across there at John Barton's house, across there at Crosby, watching the happenings of this. Well, there'll be a few quid coming your way. You'll be able to go and spend a few more pounds on the child's presents and clothing on this one, Sandrine, because Michael is still there in that second place. Cap Davis gets shuffled in behind Jason Griffiths, 4 seconds down on Jason Griffiths. Well, perhaps the hurry-up signals to Jason. Cap Davis might just moving up on Jason Griffiths. So that's it then. 1 lap to go. This will be coming through to start the first flying lap. So for the penultimate time here at Motorcycle News Ramsey Hairpin, we go ahead those 13 miles to the Motorcycle News Grandstand.
Boing. It's time for bed, said Zebedee. Protection beyond convention. FM helmets.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
Well, a little bit more time now to mention those retirements. I can tell you that number 23, Johnny Barton, retired at Crosby. Quite handy, because that's where he lives. Number 32, Derek Lloyd, stopped at Ballacrane, made adjustments and proceeded. 52, Mark Robinson, retired here at the pits. And number 80, Trevor Stokes, retired at Braddon Bridge by the old oak tree. So they're the retirements up to date. And number 20 is retirement also, I'm told, and that is Chris Heath, retired here at the pits. The light is on for number 3, and we'll have a watch on this, although Joey, with a lead of, some 54 seconds, does not really need to go for a lap record on the 6th and final circuit. He's indicated at Kronknamona safely as number 63 comes in for his pit stop, and that is Mirko Kalsek from Slovenia. He's in for his pit stop. As I said, 22 different countries represented in the Isle of Man TT races for the year 2000. You can hear a machine as this, Joey. It is indeed. Across the line now. And he looks as classy as ever. He first came to the island to ride in 1976. He'd never set foot on the Isle of Man before, and said he went out to practice and he followed a couple of riders to see which way the course went. And that's how the legend started. 1976. He still went home with a couple of replicas, and he's got a tremendous array now. The exhibition at Summerland certainly well worth a visit, with Joey Dunlop's magnificent array of trophies. 23 victories in the Isle of Man, numerous TT Formula One World Championships, 6 F1 races in a row here between 1983 and 1988. In fact, the only year he didn't race was in 1989, and that was when he had the spill at Brands Hatch at Easter, and it put him out of the races. But he was so keen, he even arrived on the Isle of Man on crutches to look for the doctor to see if he could ride. And that year, 1989, was when Steve Hislop took over the bike, and he went on to start his first of 11 victories. That's a little bit of history from Honda, and it's now already 1 minute and 10 seconds since Joey crossed the line. Number 4, John McGuinness, has been indicated at Kronknamona for some little while, so the machine I hear should be him. No, it's another of the higher numbers. We don't call them back, but there's John McGuinness. McGuinness goes through at 161.8 miles an hour, so Joey's speed through the fastest at 171.1, and there now is Michael Rutter. And 1 minute and 35 seconds on my unofficial timing. We'll confirm that shortly. Subtract the 40. In fact, he was 171.3, so I think that's 0.2 of a mile faster than Joey. So a little consolation there for Michael Rutter as Ian Locker goes through. Ian Locker holding on to that 6th place. Ian, of course, the specialist on the 250 and the 125, certainly around the Isle of Man. Let's take a quick break.
I'm working myself up into an absolute frenzy, said Ermintrude. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT Grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
There are great job opportunities in the Isle of Man in accounts, banking, secretarial, IT and customer services at Ability Plus Employment Agency. Call into their offices on Prospect Hill, Douglas, or telephone 662165 for information on employment prospects in the Isle of Man with Ability Plus.
Well, at the end of that fifth lap, the lead for Joey Dunlop, it's slightly down on what it was at Ramsey Hairpin, but it's still a very healthy 52.2 seconds. That's the lead he has over Michael Rutter. Michael Rutter, in turn, has an advantage of 22.2 seconds over number 4, John McGuinness, which is 5 seconds more than it was at Ramsey Hairpin on this fifth lap. So it's Dunlop 52.2 seconds ahead of Rutter, Rutter 22.2 seconds ahead of number 4, John McGuinness, and the lights are on for number 12, Jim Moody, and number 10, Jason Griffiths, who should slot in, on our reckoning, into 4th and 6th places, with the 5th spot being taken by number 1, and that, of course, is Ian Locker with the big 1000 Yamaha from Roos in Wales. There's Jim Moody going through now, so he should still hold on to his 4th place, although it was fairly close between him and Ian Locker at Ramsey Hairpin on this 5th lap. And the ride is now going off, some of them, believe it or not, just to start their 5th lap. And Joey away on his final lap, number 6. And with just, 37.73 miles from here, that'll be way down under the 30 miles now, certainly the speed he is going at. So it's 3, 7 and 4, the first 3. It's Honda, Yamaha and Honda, with number 1. Number 12, I should say, also on a Honda, that's Jim Moody, and he's in 4th place. There's Jason Griffiths, number 10. So it's 3, 7, 4, 12 and 1 here at the end of lap 5 for the 6th-time Motorcycle News Glen Helen.
There's the cheers. Tremendous crowds here at Glen Helen today, but that's Joey Dunlop safely through round that long left-hander, and he's going to get, of course, the accolades all the way around this 37 3/4 mile circuit, of which he's got about, 28 miles to go now, for what will be a very, very popular and well-deserved and absolutely fantastic victory. 28 miles to go. What a great race this has been, to be an opener for this 2000 Millennium TT. And what better way to start it, let's hope it happens now, would be a win for Joey Dunlop. Certainly the tremendous record holder. Peter just briefly mentioned, I know the Joey Dunlop exhibition, sponsored, I think, by the Steam Packet Company and many others. That's taking place at Summerland all week. Open, in fact, from the 1st to the 10th of June. Open tomorrow from 12 noon until 6. Closed on the race days, but open each day, other than that, during the week from 10 till 10, I think, Tuesday and Thursday. And, what an achievement that would be. An opportunity to see the 23 times and potentially 24 times winner. 63 there is another gentleman we'll give that mention to. I think Fred mentioned him, Mirko Kalsek on the Kawasaki, but obviously he's on his 5th lap a little while before number 7. A great run by Michael Rutter, I have to say, and I'm sure delighted to be up in that second place. There's number 4, second on the road, number 4, John McGuinness. Still circulating well, both he and Rutter having a tremendous battle, because number 7's with us now, Michael Rutter. So the V&M Yamaha holding the day for Yamaha. The sandwich, I suppose, between the two Hondas. Hondas in 4th and 5th, I think, and then a couple of Yamahas, 6th and 7th. But it looks as though it's the Honda day, 1st and 3rd at the moment. There's Ian Locker, one of the Yamahas we mentioned, holding on to, I think, about 5th place. But Michael Rutter there, from Briley Hill, son, of course, of Tony Rutter, 7 times winner in the TT races, and in a potentially rostrum position there in 2nd place, but some 52 seconds, 56 now, I can tell you. Just missed that number. I think that was possibly James Coward, number 82, going through there. 56 seconds the advantage for Joey Dunlop. I suspect that the race record is definitely in jeopardy, but perhaps not the lap record, despite this being the only flying lap, as Fred has said, although he has pulled 4 seconds out on Rutter, or 3.8, in fact, since they left the grandstand only 9.5 miles ago. Number 4, McGuinness, from Heysham. He's made his debut back in 1996 with 15th place in the junior. He's going to go better than that this time, hopefully. He's lying in 3rd place, but 23 seconds. That's only marginally more than it was at the grandstand at the completion of lap 5. He's 23 seconds down on Michael Rutter in that 2nd place. But a tremendous performance by all 3 riders. But I can imagine now all the way around this course the programmes being waved as they were here at Glen Helen for the very popular Joey Dunlop, second in this race last year, gone one better, and now adding hopefully a 7th victory to his Formula 1 victories, of which he had 6 in a row back in the 80s. I think his highest average speed was 118.54. That was in the last of his 6 wins back in 1988. There's number 2, Nigel Cap Davis, on the Flitwick Yamaha from Clerthley. And 55, in fact, one of the later runners, Thomas Nolting, a newcomer to the course from Germany on a Suzuki. Not too many of those around, but he's got to mention at least number 55, Thomas Nolting, the German competitor on the GSXR 750. So Dunlop with an extended advantage, 56 seconds, very comfortable now with 28 miles and considerably less than that to go, ahead of a great performance by Michael Rutter. There's number 12, Jim Moody on the Fireblade. We'll be able to slot Jim in, and he's been in that very comfortable 4th position for some laps now. He had, he was 51 seconds behind number 4, McGuinness at Ramsey. 68 through there is Kevin Murphy, one of the local competitors from Douglas, and 79, Martin Child, another of the Fireblades out there. 68, as we mentioned a few of these later runners. Sorry, that was Kevin Murphy, so I must have missed the number. Could have been Wade Boyd, because he's been circulating well. 70 definitely there is Robert J. Price. Having said there aren't many Suzukis, that was another one of them. There's number 10. That's Jason Griffiths. So we'll be able to slot him in shortly, but it's number 1 so far we've got there, Ian Locker. Number 12 we need, but the news from Glen Helen lap 6 is that Joey Dunlop leads by 56 seconds from number 7 Michael Rutter, who's 23 seconds ahead of number 4 John McGuinness. Then I can tell you Ian Locker's moved up ahead of number 12 Jim Moody. Moody is 9 seconds down on Locker. They're the first 5, 3, 7, 4, 1 and 12. I suspect number 10 Jason Griffiths will come next. With that, back to the Motorcycle News grandstand.
That Ermintrude's a right cow, said Florence in a flounce. FM helmets. Protection beyond convention.
Come and meet all the Yamaha stars at Road and Track this Thursday the 8th. Michael Rutter, Jason Griffith, Steve Hislop and David Jeffries will all be there. Make sure you are. Plus, there's a fantastic free prize draw to win the brand spanking new Yamaha Slider. Be there. Road and Track Motorcycles, June the 8th, Tynwald Street, Douglas.
Selon les temps chrono, à la fin du 5e tour, le leader, toujours le numéro 3, Joey Dunlop, 52 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 7, Michael Rutter. Lui, 22 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 4, John McGuinness. Peter.
Dankeschön, Mavis. Und vor der letzten Runde, Start Nummer 3, Joey Dunlop liegt jetzt mit 52,2 Sekunden vor Start Nummer 7, Michael Rutter auf der WMN Honda. Der hat 22,2 Sekunden Vorsprung vor Start Nummer 4, John McGuinness auf der zweiten SP1 und damit wieder Peter Neal, bitte.
Right, would the owner of 24 BMN make themselves known to the police at Craignabar, please? That's the owner of a vehicle, 24 BMN. Please make themselves known to the police at Craignabar. Yeah, we noticed here at the end of the 5th lap that Ian Locker had taken the 4th place from Jim Moody by just 2.5 seconds. So the order was 3, 7, 4, 1, 12 and 10. That's number 27, that's Steve Linsdell, followed by number 30, and that's Colin Breeze, last year's Senior Manx Grand Prix winner. So Joey pumping his way through Ramsey now, and on the climb up Stella Morris and shortly into the view of Fred at Motorcycle News Ramsey Hairpin.
Yes, and not only my view, the programmes, and they're cheering him. Here he comes. Here's your man himself, the yellow helmet. And this time Jim Stewart does hold the board out. Joey ignores it this time, and why not? It wasn't out when he needed it, but there is a way. He's not really opening up the taps as much as he needs to. He's going to coax this one home. Well, it's interesting to note that going back to the beginning of the year, he was asked what he wanted for the TT and was offered a Fireblade and said no, he had one. In fact, they sent one across for him to try and he said, no, I'd rather go with the twin. And that's exactly what they did for him. It was really down to Bob McMillan following on the Northwest 200 that got loads of faxes going to HRC in Japan saying, look, we need something. If we're going to get the TT victory back, the place where we've made our name, our reputation, then we need something that is going to be competitive with these Yamahas. And they've done the business. Who was it that once said, give me the tools and I'll do the job? Oh, I think that was Johnny Two Jags in government. Still, doesn't always work, does it? What have we got? Joey Dunlop, 18 minutes 25.8. 18:25.8. Ramsey to Ramsey. Now, that's just a whisker outside his best lap of last year, which was 18:23.7. So it's just a whisker. He's obviously eased the pace. He's going to coax it home. He knows he's got, well, he can almost stop for a sandwich, a hot dog, and a flask of coffee up on the mountain, really, couldn't he? And take in the view and then get back on board and come through for what surely looked early on as if it was going to be his most famous victory. He was never headed, remember, he was never headed even up until the point when David Jeffries went out on that 5th position, that 5th lap. Here comes John McGuinness, and what a wonderful ride this has been for John Flint McGuinness. Certainly the fashion conscious amongst us would not go for the colour coding of his helmet with the Vimto leathers. And here comes Michael Rutter. Well done, Michael. Nice to have you back on the mountain circuit, a circuit that his father claimed 8 victories. I know that Peter always says 7, and Michael's father gets a bit off about that. Is 8 victories that Tony Rutter achieved on the team. Oh, and Locker's trying. I'll tell you what, of these riders that are trying, then it's Ian Locker, Ian Timothy Locker on Hector Neal's 1000 R1 Yamaha. He is the rider that is on the charge. Now, I don't quite know how far down the pecking order he is. Well, he was up to 4th place, wasn't he, ahead of Jim Moody, and I suspect that Moody will not come back from that one. Moody was 2 seconds down at the start for this last lap, and that had increased to about 9 seconds, I think, at Glen Helen, indicating possibly a combination of 2 things, that Locker had got the hurry up signal, and perhaps that Moody might just have well been losing a little bit of the pace. But certainly Locker visually is by far and away the quickest of the riders out there on the circuit. His day will come, of course, later on in the week when 4 times a TT winner, he'll be out with the 125s, he'll be out with the 250s, and he'll be out with the 600 as well. And of course, he joins David Jeffries in the team and Michael Rutter. And in fact, he will be riding Michael Rutter's Northwest winning 600 V&M R6 Yamaha in the junior event. 20 seconds Rutter is behind McGuinness now. What is the position with Locker with regard to Jim Moody? That's the important thing that we've got to look to. Number 62, that is just going through. Give him a mention. That's Ian Smith. A quick trip over from South Africa, wasn't it? Ian Smith, number 62, as he now makes the run up onto the Highlands, up to 1,400 feet on the TT circuit. Well, Dunlop on Dunlop. It's Jerry Dunlop running on Dunlop tyres, looking for win number 8, win number 24, I should say, win number 24 for self, and of course win number 108, and still counting, for Honda. Honda, they promised that when they were really seen off the island last year by those triple victories by David Jeffries. Incidentally, that's Cap Davis, who has gone through in the background, Nigel Cap Davis. Don't think there's time enough this evening, Cap, for a game of golf. Yeah, you'll probably get one in. He beat Ian Duffus on the golf course one evening earlier on this week. We're going to shuffle in Locker. Now, what is the difference between him and McGuinness? Not really in with a fighting chance on McGuinness. 43 seconds. No, 43 seconds back. Positions are secure on the top 4. There's no 2 ways about that. And it really is a question of keeping fingers crossed and everything else. Here's Jim Moody. Jim, who has got a very busy week ahead of him, running for Honda Britain. He's running in a number of the other classes. And, of course, for David Jeffries, he'll be looking forward to next Friday when, in the senior, he'll be able to come back once again on William Joseph Dunlop. So, Jerry Dunlop, win number 24. And what a victory this is. 48 years young, the Philosan kid is going to make it, win number 24 and Honda's 108th victory, as number 10 Jason Griffiths now makes his final run over the 13-mile mountain climb and drop down in toward Ramsey. We can't put anybody else in there because Moody is 26 seconds down on Ian Locker, and Jason Griffiths confirms his 6th position. So Dunlop, Rutter, McGuinness, Locker, Moody, Griffiths, positions are set. That's the news here. Fred Clark, News at 10, Ramsey Hairpin, heading across then to the Motorcycle News grandstand.
Boing, boing. I'll give him like boing, man, said Dylan. FM helmets, protection beyond convention.
Duke Video are proud to sponsor the first Formula One TT race of the new millennium. Duke offer the world's biggest range of bike sport videos, DVDs, prints and CDs. Check out the Duke Video shop in Castle Street, Douglas, behind the TT grandstand, or visit our website at dukevideo.com. Duke Video, the winning formula for bike sport entertainment.
What's that? It's a joke. No, it's not.
But it has to be.
This, my mate, is protection beyond convention.
Magic Roundabout, one of the theme helmets, only from FM Helmets.
All right, folks, sitting here on the grandstand, we've got about 50 seconds to wait only to greet Joey Dunlop as winner of the 2000 TT Formula 1. The light is on, indicating that he is through Crunknamona quite comfortably, and shortly he should be on his way down to see us. I'm sure he's going to get a tremendous reception here at the grandstand as he comes in to win. It is packed grandstand, and I'm sure the winning area down there is. Everybody's just waiting for the glimpse. We're just waiting to see him. We can hear a machine. This not him, because Andy Fern has not got the checkered flag ready, but shortly he will come, and what a reception he will receive. Joey Dunlop, win number 24, the first winner of the new millennium. 1976 he made his debut. This looks like promising. This looks like Joey Dunlop. It is indeed. He comes now and they rise to him. Joey Dunlop crosses the line, and I make that a lap unofficially in 18 minutes 32 seconds. But what the hell does it matter about the lap time? Joey Dunlop has done it. 24th win, and what a win indeed, to come back at 48 years of age and win the TT Formula 1. And that really is a tremendous performance. The grandstand rose to him as a single person and cheered for Joey Dunlop, and the people now lining the return lane, I'm sure, will be doing exactly the same thing as he'll shortly come into our view. He's taking it nice and steady, but here he is. I can see him now in the distance, and very much closer to him than me is Jeff Cannell.
Fantastic, and the crowd are going to go wild here when Joey wins his 24 TT and whips it into the paddock here, and he's stuffed Yamaha out with a vengeance, and here he is. What a man. What a victory. Maybe the best ever. Maybe the best. Wonderful, wonderful Joey Dunlop. How did you do it?
I don't know.
Terrific. That must be your best win ever here. Just getting the gloves off. Give him a second. Bob McMillan congratulates him.
Well done, kid.
Joey, that is absolutely magic.
I don't know yet.
Well, you can say a bit more than that, because you had a tremendous challenge on.
Aye.
David Jeffries ran you hard.
I did indeed, because it's heavy work at 6 laps, and I paced myself the best I could, but that was good. I enjoyed it, really.
But you led from the start, so you must have been watching the patches to start with, were you?
I got a couple of real bad ones the first lap. On the patches out there, it scared me a bit, but it tried out. The second lap was all right.
And did you cure that weave in the front end, or just put up with it?
Saying nothing.
Doesn't matter, you're back home for a 24th victory. Do you think that's one of your best of the TT successes?
I reckon enough. I really enjoyed it. You know, it was a good tight race the whole way.
Because it's only a development bike, really. It's fantastic to beat the Yamahas with all their pedigree.
And that was brought here to do a job, and that's all over.
You had the faith in it.
I had indeed,
OK, that's Joey then. Let me try and get out to let the others in. You can't get out. It's jammed to the doors here. You can stand here for the Manx Grand Prix newcomers races with 2 people, you and the rider. But he's now John McGuinness with the other Honda. A terrific ride, really. And he's Michael Rutter second. And that is a great ride by John McGuinness, who wasn't really expected to get in the top 3, I don't think. John, well done.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I just got my head down from the start, tried to work at it. I see Nigel Davies catching Nigel up a bit, and thought I can't be too far away. I got my first board. I think it was a 4, so I just kept my head down, tried all the way, and everything worked out a dream, really. It was perfect. Just kept going at my own pace, and never had any problems.
You weren't really expecting top 3, I don't think.
No, I was expecting a top 6, but top 3 is a bonus. I don't think you need to win practice, do you? You know what I mean? But we just worked slowly through the week to get this SP1 right, and Honda provided me with it, and come up with the goods.
OK, so first and third for Hondas, then a good result for you. And, of course, you've got about 3 or 4 other rides as well. Michael Rutter is here, and the problem at the rear end, I think, but home safely in second position. He's been trying all right. Michael, a good second place there. No holding Joey, though.
No, you know, really, you had the better of me today.
David was neck and neck with him coming in here on the second pit stop, and he might have got him, but it sounds as if a piston went or something.
I don't know. I've seen him pulled over by Glen Ellen. I don't know what went wrong or whatever.
You must be quite pleased with that, though, really, because you've been away a bit and done other things.
Yeah, you know, like it's taking a bit to get into it. I enjoyed that last lap. We just had to be a bit careful because it was overheating. We spun the rear tyre as well, so we had a bit of vibration, but otherwise it was the bike went well.
Okay, what was it like to start with? Was there a few damp patches here and there?
Yeah, it was very slippy in some places, a lot of people going down. It was just frightening really, first couple of laps.
So you split the Hondas, the twins are first and third, so you're glad to get yours home, and sympathy for David, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I think David was the favourite, and obviously something's gone wrong.
It looked as if he took it easy to start with, and then he nailed the gap back, and they were neck and neck coming in here.
Oh, it was just a close thing anyways, but, oh well.
John McGuinness has gone well too.
Yeah, he's doing real well, riding a big bike, hard work around here, and, first time thing, so he's done well.
Okay, so have you. Well done. Go in and greet your fans in there. Thanks, Michael. Those are the top three then. I've never seen a scrum like that for Joey. Listen to this. 2 years away from qualifying for a Saga holiday, that's all. And he's winning the Formula 1 TT, his 24th TT victory. Let's now rejoin this throng here. What a moment for the Ballymoney rider. Look, it's hard going. That's about all you'll get out of him. How does he do it at 48 when riders of 28 can't go anything like it? I don't know whether that was his fastest ever lap. Peter, perhaps you'll know that from the stats, but it must be getting close to it, and on a bike that he's not ridden very much, really.
No, very, very close indeed. And, he missed the absolute race record by 0.3 of a second only.
Yeah, well, I don't think that counts for too much, but...
I don't think it worried Joey one iota.
That's, of course, with 2 pit stops, whereas the race record might be on a race with 1.
No, it was a 6-lapper when Steve Hislop did it.
Okay.
But David Jeffries was a quicker average speed last year, but that was just a 4-lap race.
Okay, well, we're heading up to the top paddock now, where the rest of the riders go to get the 4th, 5th and 6th, if possible.
Right, well, let's take a look down the leaderboard as we have it on our computer here then for the moment. The winner, number 3, Joey Dunlop, a final lap of 18 minutes 32.2, 122.12, a time for the race of 1 hour 52 minutes 15.3, 120.99. Second, number 7, Michael Rutter, a lap in 18 minutes 39.6, 121.31. A race time of 1 hour 53 minutes 14.9, an average speed of 119.93. In third place, number 4, John McGuinness, 18 minutes 40.5, 121.22, 1 hour 53 minutes 38 seconds, an average speed of 119.53. And I think we now need to just slot in number 1. Yes, indeed. Number 1 is there. That's Ian Locker in 4th place. A final lap of 18 minutes 31.4. In actual fact, the fastest lap of the 6th lap, 122.21. A race time of 1 hour 54 minutes, 22.8 seconds, an average speed of 118.75. In 5th place, number 12, that's Jim Moody, 19 minutes 14.7. Maybe he had a problem on that final lap because it was well down on the others, 117.63. Race time, 1 hour 55 minutes 8.6, 117.96. And completing the top 6, number 10, Jason Griffiths, 18 minutes 45.2, 120.71, 155.44.1, 117.36. That's the top 6 now, Jeff.
Yes, he's Jason now, 6th place, and a good result for you there, really. It's quite a battle, the big bikes.
Yeah, it was a tough race, Jeff. Conditions weren't perfect, obviously, but it was the same for everybody out there, and just had to sort out where the damp patches were earlier on and take it from there.
Okay, but you stuck with it, and it was a hard-fought race. The pace was quite hard, considering there were those damp patches. Did you wait up the first lap?
Yeah, I didn't start very well. I had a poor first lap, I think, and just tried to keep on going and hope that I'd pick up a finish,
Well, you've done that at 117. That's the average with 2 stops, pretty good.
Yeah, happy enough in the end. The bike ran well and, kept on plodding away and got a 6th.
What about Joey, then?
Yeah, just heard he won. Good result, obviously, yeah.
Joey, and then Michael Rutter 2nd, and John McGuinness.
Yeah, good ride for John as well then, yeah.
Okay, but you turn your attention now to the smaller bikes.
Yeah, got the 250 out on Monday, so hopefully we'll get a dry day and a good race.
I think the weather forecast is good.
Good, yeah.
Okay, well done. You look tired, though. It's hard going, isn't it?
Oh, it was tough out there, Jeff, yeah.
Okay, right. And Ian Locker in 4th position. Good run for him. And Cap Davies just congratulating him. Ian, good run there to 4th.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah. Just, like I say, we're still getting used to the bike, and had a couple of slides the first lap, and
I think perhaps going first, it perhaps was against me a little bit, because obviously I had to find out where the wet patches were first before everybody else. And I had a couple of slides at real fast places, just after Ballacrane and a couple of other places. And it just knocked my confidence a little bit, and perhaps I slowed up a little bit too much. But no, happy with fourth, you know. It's only the second time out for this bike, and Temple Auto Salvage team put a brilliant bike together, and, you know, in a very short space of time. So yeah, we're happy.
Okay, now what about Joey? Did he pass you on the road or in the pits or what? I forget now.
No, he passed me on the road. I forget where it was, but yeah, his bike was going well.
He's won it by a street.
Has he? How much?
David Jeffries went out. He won by about 50 seconds.
Oh, right. Good on him.
But you enjoyed it though?
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Just starting to get my confidence there the last lap and over the mountain, and I was really enjoying myself. And I was catching Michael Rutter over the mountain quite easily, and then he could pull away on the bottom part of the circuit, and then back over the mountain again. I could see him again. I started to catch him again, you know, and then run out of laps.
Run out of laps. How many do you want then? 10. Hector, happy with that?
Absolutely delighted. I can't believe it. Back again after all this time and coming into fourth place, and it's a second ride on the bike there. I was hoping maybe for the first dozen I'd have been delighted, but to get fourth.
Okay, Brian Reid, good ride by Ian.
Yeah, we're really impressed. He's done really well on the bike. That was just new at the Northwest, and, you know, up against all the works teams, you know, it's been a good result for him. Brilliant.
What about Joey though?
It's unbelievable. That's crazy.
50 seconds he won by.
He outfoxed everybody, didn't he?
Okay, he certainly did. We said before the race, though, that he might have been doing that. And it's remarkably quiet up here, but Sean Harris, Brian Gardner, and a couple of others. Sean looks in. Cap Davies here also. What sort of a run did you have, Nigel?
Pardon?
What sort of a run did you have there?
It was all right, you know. It was a little bit bumpy. We did the forks last Wednesday, and we haven't practiced since because of the weather, so I'm a little bit disappointed, as I say, that we didn't have that bit of practice to set the front end up.
Were they too hard or what?
No, too soft.
All right.
I was bouncing about a bit, so it pounded. I had a bit of a pounding, so. But I'm happy with it. I followed Joey. Joey came past me, and the man doesn't. He is just amazing. I'm telling you. He came to the dump, and he was just left me. I thought, see you, see you, Joey. I'll see you again.
A lot of it's in the head, the dump patches, though. If you believe you can stay on, but if you start to think you're going to slide, you usually do.
Yes, if it's raining, I'll be there, as you know from the past. But damp, I'm not too good in a damp. It's just my confidence isn't there in the damp. It's either got to be wet or dry.
But you went okay, a good ride, really.
Yes, I enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the week now. I've had a good bit of practice today, so that's helped me a lot. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the week.
Okay, so Joey it was from Michael Rutter and John McGuinness.
Yes, that was excellent. And the three of the people have passed me.
Not many. Sean Harris, got a tale to tell, I'm sure. Not so easy.
Oh, no, I've just got the bike set up way wrong. I mean, we've made massive improvements, but it's just not right. So, you know, hey, you can only live and learn.
That's lack of practice, was it, on Thursday?
A little bit of that and a bit of misfortune, but that's just the way it goes. You know, everybody's been in the same boat. They got on and did their job, and good on them.
Yeah. What about Joey winning it then?
Joey won it, did he?
Yeah, by 50 seconds.
Awesome. Good man.
Okay, Jimmy Courtney with the Ducati gets it home again. Not quite fourth this time, but a fair run. How'd you go?
Yeah, it went okay. Just it was more or less the practice. We didn't get. I was happy enough there to get the finish.
Handling all right?
Yeah, handling pretty good. Yeah.
What about Joey winning by 50 seconds then?
What's that?
What about Joey winning by 50 seconds?
Just got the news there. Yes, indeed.
What can you do with him?
Oh no. Yeah, I'll have to retire him.
Out to grass. And Brian Gardner. How'd you go there?
How you doing, Jeff?
Yeah, how'd it go?
It went very smooth, Jeff. Just the first lap, just on the new tyres, they felt a wee bit unstable, and I thought maybe there's something wrong with the setup. But then the second lap, just straight as an arrow down Bray Hill.
Maybe the damp patch is affecting it?
I just felt it slide once just before Appledene on the first lap, but just must have had a wee puddle.
Was there good visibility on the top?
A couple of sections where you could just see the mist coming in, but it didn't affect the speed at all.
No, but it's a bit disconcerting the first lap, finding out where they are.
Exactly, you're just waiting for it to get worse.
It's a particular feeling when you see one and you know you've got to go through it.
Exactly, are you going to come out the other side?
That's right, yeah, I know exactly the feeling at a much lower speed. And Ewell Duncan, Steve Day are here.
Lost his exhaust.
And in fact, there's no exhaust left on Steve's machine here. That's about 3 bikes that have had that misfortune, actually. The whole end pipe is gone. Where, I don't know, flying over the hedge somewhere, I suppose. How far back was that?
Well, the
they black flagged me at Bungalow, but I was going so fast. Saw it at the last minute, got onto the grass, out of shape, off the bike, on the bike, off the bike. I was across the railway line, and then they eventually stopped me and said, "Let's have a look." I had a look. The exhaust was still in the holder. It was just blown out the end can. So I ripped it out and got back on the track and made the finish. So hopefully I'll get my time made up for being stopped by a marshal.
Well, not if there was a legitimate reason, I don't think. It's only when there's no reason. It's a matter of opinion, that one.
Just give me a headache, that's all.
Yeah, could you feel it beginning to go, though? It would vibrate, I suppose.
No, well, I couldn't feel it. I just could hear it. I knew it was like breaking free, but it wasn't stopping me.
So it's up to the bungalow quickly to get the pipe now, is it?
I don't know where it is. It'll be on a hedge somewhere.
All right, well, a good rescue. And Yule Duncan, how did you go there?
I'm happy. I thought that I had a puncture in the back wheel of Glen Helen on about the third or fourth lap, so I pulled on, checked it, and went on. So, but I enjoyed it. Just started to get it right there the last lap. So,
is it a slow puncture you've got, or was it just a feeling that you'd had one and there wasn't really?
No, I hadn't a flat wheel. It's just it's a harder compound tyre we're trying, and she's moving about a bit more than I expected. But I wanted to get the 6 laps with it. I wanted to play it safe, but no, I was just starting to get it flowing right at the last lap there. So.
A couple of people have said that. I think that's because you didn't have enough laps during the week, maybe.
I would say that's what happened. It's just, even coming over the mountain, which, it was my weak point, and I started to get that right, so I was really enjoying the last lap there.
Well, you've plenty more racing to do. Well done. Good, just as well to check.
Thank you very much, yeah.
OK, well, I think that's most of the top lot, Peter, and I'm sure you've got a few other statistics.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Jeff. We can go down. We give you up to the first 6. In 7th place, number 2, that's Nigel Davies. He had a final lap of 18 minutes 55.2, 119.65. Race time 1 hour 56 minutes 1.1, 117.07. In 8th place, we have number 33, Carl Rennie. 19 minutes 33 seconds, 115.79. Race time 1 hour 57 minutes 55.2, 115.18. The 9th finisher we have number 19, Brian Gardner, 19 minutes 12.9, 117.81. Race time 1 hour 58 minutes 4.8, 115.03. In 10th place, number 28, Jim Hudson, 19 minutes 33.3, 115.76. A race time 1 hour 58 minutes 45 seconds, 114.38. And John McGuinness, Jim Moody and Jim Hudson have won the club team. That's the Darley Moor Motorcycle Road Racing Club. They've won the team prize. Continuing with the leaderboard now to we have in 11th place, number 14, Sean Harris, 19 minutes 35.9, 115.51, 1 hour 59 minutes 5 seconds, 114.06. But I think that Richard Britton might just have squeezed in there somewhere, so we'll take another check on the computer, and still looking for his time. The Manufacturers Award, incidentally, has been won by Honda. Joey Dunlop, John McGuinness and Jim Moody were the 3 team members, and looking to see if there's any sign now for the garlanding ceremony. The stage is set and ready. John Hepburn, number 26, we have provisionally in 12th place. I'm just looking for number 34, Richard Britton. In fact, he is stuck somewhere. He was up in the top 10, certainly, number 34, but his scoreboard indicates that he's stuck somewhere between Ramsey and the bungalow on the final lap. And that's number 40, yes, I think he's missed out. So number 14, Sean Harris, we can say, and number 26, John Hepburn, I think we had, didn't we, in 12th place. 19 minutes 33.3, 115.76, a race time 1 hour 59 minutes 20.7, 113.01. Provisionally in 13th, we have number 30, Colin Breeze, winner of last year's Senior Manx Grand Prix and the absolute course record holder for the Manx Grand Prix. In his first TT, he had a final lap of 19 minutes 42.1, 114.90, a race time of 2 hours, no minutes 6.1, 113.09. Then up into 14th place. At the moment, we have number 11. That's James Courtney, 19 minutes 29.7, 116.12. Race time 2 hours and 14.7 seconds, 112.95. And completing a provisional top 15, number 24, Steve Day, 20 minutes 14 seconds, 111.88. And a race time of 2 hours and 28.6 seconds, 112.74 miles an hour. And Ryder still finishing, and this is number 46. He's finished. Coming up now the return lane, number 46, and that is Adam Donovan. He was 36 last year, so he'll be looking for an improvement on that. I notice down below now a little bit of activity, ready for the garlanding ceremony for the Duke TT Formula 1 race. All we're missing are the riders, but there's your man, Joey Dunlop. And he looks just as calm and casual as if he'd been out for a practice lap, never mind having won his 24th race. Number 43 is another finisher. We'll just mention these boys. They've all finished a very tough race, and that is Mark Diffie. And the preparations are almost ready now for the presentations. Looking down, there's Michael Rutter. I can see John McGuinness also, and Joey Dunlop. And Joey is just surrounded by television, still cameras, and he's just as casual, just wanders up with his new Vimto leathers on, looking very, very smart indeed, and as if he'd just been out for a stroll, never mind going around the TT course and coming within 0.3 of a second of the absolute race record for the TT Formula 1 race. And the world's press, and I mean the world's press, gather below us here now, waiting for the moment to greet this man, and what a man he is. Moving forward now, and I think if we get, Joey is ready. We want Michael and John to go there as well, and they'll be going up to receive the awards and the acclaim of the crowd. And it's nice to see normally the grandstand empties a little bit when the presentations come along, the garlanding ceremony, but not today, certainly not. I think we're ready, and I'm just waiting for the signal now that everybody's in position and ready. Well, the flags are there, the riders are there. Well, John is just going to go there in a second. Just waiting for the signal. Are we ready to start? I'm just waiting for the thumbs up. Just waiting for John to go and join them. And I think now we're ready. Nope, they're coming out this way now. That's it. We're ready, and let's greet the first three with the fanfare. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Dunlop.